And we're back here once again with another episode of the MSK Show, and this is going to be episode 523. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope you guys have a great weekend that is ahead of you. And in this episode of the MSK Show, I am going to be having a conversation with the Creatorverse, and this is going to be his third appearance on the show. It feels like forever ago since the last time we talked, because your first episode, we talked on this show. Then it was like a year until you had the other episode. And then the last episode you were on was like apparently 7 months ago. Holy crap. So you really are like a black dad. You're barely around. See, that's how it works, actually. You know?
Life has a way of keeping me away from the internet just fine. I mean, I'll post here and there, and I'll try to participate as much as I can. Is my sound coming in okay?
You're good. Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. Yeah, the most of the time I've been working, either trying to get my artwork finished or trying to just keep my head afloat, to keep things normal, just living life with a family and everything.
Yeah. So just a few things before we go over anything else. Are you still getting a lot of those commissions that you were getting the last time you were on? Last time you were on, you said the commission work was picking up a lot and your hand was cramping because you couldn't actually keep up, which is both a blessing and a curse, right? Because there's a lot of artists, in the indie comic book space that aren't getting a lot of work. But apparently you had said you were getting a lot of people asking you for commissions. And I imagine that's like $80 potentially, like a piece.
It kind of depends. Depends on what type of art I get. So right now,
Mhm.
my cover charge for just the cover art itself is about $350 for a full color, like from start to finish, drawings, then inking, and then color. If you want the whole package, then it's about $350, and then you have the $80 is roughly for like a full color, just a character drawing with a decent, like kind of bare minimum background, and more like a not a
Yeah.
cover image. It's like a profile image mostly,
Mhm.
or like a promo art thing. That's all you get usually for 80
So
bucks.
you're saying you have a big package. That's what you were saying? Oh my god. You walked into that one. Oh
I
god.
did.
No, but that's good actually. How many of these are you actually getting still
I,
right now?
I get one or two per week or so, and then
That's pretty good.
sometimes I'll get one a month. It really depends
Yeah.
on how things are going. And so what I do is whenever during my downtime, I'll just kind of draw things. It helps that I live in a house that I inherited, so things are kind of easier for me. There's a lot of people right now, a lot of artists I know that are dealing with a lot of struggles that are not, you know, it's something that you can't avoid in the field of art. You can't really avoid it.
Yeah.
It's something that I think right now people are, especially with AI being such a prevalent thing. And, I'm not fully against AI. I think that it has its function,
Mhm.
but in terms, I don't actually use it myself these days because I find it
Mhm.
a little bit boring. I actually got back to classic 2D animation recently, and so I've been working on a 2D animated clip here and there whenever I have time, just to kind of promote my own work.
It's crazy. I've actually tinkered around with Chat GPT with something, and it's actually pretty interesting that, certain people have these like certain rules that they'll never use these certain new things that come out, but I could see why the average person would use it for like,
Yeah,
potentially writing a book actually. And what's crazy is I think there's a common misconception around it too, actually, is if you actually type in a prompt to Chat GPT, people do know like it does give you dialogue for characters. It does, but you
yeah,
can alter all the dialogue the way you want. All you have to type in is pretty much, hey, I want character to say this. Remove your dialogue, put mine in, you
yeah.
know? And this the thing is, if a book ever came out that was entirely half written by Chat GPT or myself, how would the person who's reading it know that? They wouldn't know what the dialogue, they would just assume that all the dialogue I actually potentially put in all those prompts to make the dialogue the way that I would actually want it to turn out, you know?
Yeah, I think it becomes a slippery slope. I think whenever the only real people, oh, and he left, but yeah, I think the only slippery slope when it comes to actual AI usage, I think, is when they get fired simply for, like, once their work is used to train an AI, and then they get fired for it. that's when I think it becomes a problem. If you get fired for after training the AI to do something a very particular way, and a studio uses that work to basically create new ones, and then let go of the artist without paying him or creating any kind of cut. This is where I think it's a business minded thing versus an artist minded thing. People need to realize too. Artists need to realize they need to have a contract before you get when you get hired. Get a contract to make sure that you actually stipulate that you get royalties at the very least. Royalties for the work that you've contributed to any project, especially if it's AI. And if you're aware that AI exists, you need to be you need to have that safeguard. Now, mind you, you're not going to get a lot of jobs that way because a lot of people are going to be looking for a way out. No one wants to pay royalties. Are the invisible boogeyman that the corporate overlords want to kind of get away from, and key jangle the idea that AI is a tool, but then they realize, or the key jangle potential jobs for these newbies who are into
Yeah.
art, and then they take it away as quickly as possible because they know that eventually these artists are going to find out, oh, if I get a contract, then or work with some protection agency of some sort, some kind of something to protect them, then they will they think that they'll be safe from these overlords they're not actually evil people. I think it's that they don't realize is that they've experienced too many failures, too many projects going completely awry because, well, they have people trying to push their own agendas, trying to create some kind of they have complete cognitive dissonance between one another. I tell my brother all the time that these people either they lack complete communication, they don't understand who's talking, they don't understand who is in charge of these projects. I think they hire them and they find out after the failure, oh, so this project failed because of this person, but I can't fire them because they have some kind of protection because of their their beliefs. And it just goes for everyone. Even as a Christian, many people realize that now they can use their faith as a shield. But I think that the reality is no one is safe from a company, and that you have to be able to be prepared for the risks. There are risks to art and creativity, and it sucks, but it's what it is. It's like you can't fear it. You can't live life in fear. You gotta keep trying.
Oh yeah, this is something that I've always told people. Life is actually something where it can end super quickly, or it could be a long, prosperous thing. Like
Yeah,
that Asian chick. There was an Asian girl who was in the Godzilla versus Kong movies. She just passed away just like a
yeah, I
few days
know.
ago. A car crash. She was only 18 years old.
It's one of those things that my sister just is turning 18, and it was rough to see that. It was like I only imagine. It's like looking at my own little sister in the eye, and
Yeah,
it's
because I
just
remember
weird.
watching that movie back in 2021. I was like, oh, this is a girl who's deaf and she uses sign. Okay, she's kind of cool for what this character could offer for these movies, because obviously the animals can't talk. So
Yeah,
it's a nice little angle there for a character to actually have. It's like, okay, this is a cool little thing. And then just like what, she's gone. Like what? Just like that. She just turned 18 and she's just gone.
yep.
That's why
It's
I
just
tell people that's why I tell people there's all these guys out there who are sitting on the internet super depressed,
yeah,
tweeting every day about why they're depressed and they have no purpose.
yep,
And it's like, people don't actually know this. Oh, because I think you may have still learned this in school. There's this part in North Korea where people are straight up born blind, and if they
yeah,
don't get a certain surgery by a certain time in their life, it's just permanent. This is how bad North Korea is with people. And I tell people this all the time. I'm not saying that bad things will always happen to you. What I'm saying is, your life could have such altered, drastic things, and when that's why, how like when a girl is pregnant, is about to have a kid, and everyone always asks her, well, what do you want out of your kid? And usually the average person will say, I just want a healthy baby. Yeah, just having a perfectly healthy baby
yeah.
is on. Let's say 10 toes, the mouth works, the eyes work,
I
everything
think
works.
you can never anticipate when something good or bad is going to what cards you're going to be dealt, what you're going to
Yeah,
actually
like
have to deal with, and
Yeah, dude, what people don't understand, it's like your mom could have straight up threw you in a trash can when you were
Yep.
born because she didn't want to be a mom. She could have just dumped you on the side of the street. She could have literally dumped you on the porch of a random person's house.
Yeah.
She could have put you where there's places where a bunch of snakes are, crocodiles, anything. There's so many moving obstacles in life where I don't know if the average person knows you could have been dealt a pretty bad hand when it comes to all this stuff. And the fact that you get to have a good, decent life where things may not be going your way, dealing with literal first world problems, and then just sitting all day depressed on the internet, telling other people why you're depressed and sad is like, that's not gonna. I'm just like, what, man? I wish. What in the world? There's way bigger things you could be doing, and way better things you could be doing than spending your time
Yeah.
like that.
I mean, I get there is a kind of downhill slope when it comes to this kind of thing, or I should say, it's a bit of a difficult path
Mm-hmm.
to follow because of the fact that many people will take that to the extreme too and start celebrating pointless victories, pointless things, celebrating mediocrity, as it were. Is when you celebrate you going from that, you either people don't know how to actually like devise or kind of separate the two different things. They're either one way or the other. They're basically, there's no gray area anymore when it comes to either being depressed and
Mm-hmm.
wallowing, or they're either that or they are celebrating mediocrity. Every little tiny victory is like, it's relish it for yourself for a bit and don't try to celebrate it online. Don't blast your every little victory. Now, mind you, I fall and play to that too. I celebrate, just the other day, I celebrated two new subscribers on the channel. And I'm thinking it's kind of funny because I'm still excited about the little things
Mm-hmm.
on my platform, but I need to, celebrate, sometimes celebrate quietly, enjoy it for myself instead of
Mm-hmm.
posting it all over the internet. But I do enjoy little things. I mean, I'm getting back into, if I had to take a break from drawing my comic books because of the fact that they were, like I said last time, my hand was not working.
My hand
It
doesn't
was
work either. That's
it was
because
pure.
I beat off
Uh,
too hard. God, see, come on, man. You give me
uh,
the
I get,
outsy
I,
face.
yeah,
Oh
no,
gosh.
I got it. It was like borderline arthritis. I still have problems with some of my fingers, but
Did you end up going to the
now,
doctor or anything?
no, I don't like going to the doctor, but it's actually getting better now. I can finally, close my fist again. But it was just kind of funny. But now it's back to normal. I'm drawing about a page per day and working on right now a 2-page spread for a few people. I had one for myself, and there's one that I did for a friend of mine. I had to redraw because when my computer got destroyed completely, it lost a whole bunch of my drawings, pretty much everything. So I had to redraw a few commissions, and I had to kind of start from scratch. But instead of being depressed and wallowing, I kept posting what I could, and I kept on drawing. I kept on trying. And now, well, I got a new tablet. Hopefully, I'll get a new computer eventually. I'm using
Mhm.
a rundown old computer with an old 1660. It works. I mean, I'm on here. It works at least.
Yeah.
And I have I also have this older tablet that I have connected to it. So when I get into some kind of streaming, I might try to stream again soon. I'm thinking possibly next week I'm gonna try to get back into streaming again, doing draw streams. And now that I'm back into animation, or rather, just actually getting into animation,
Mhm.
because I haven't done animation since I was a teenager. But 2D animation, I might do draw streams showing my process on that. But a lot of different things. I think right now I have a lot of stuff in the works. I have about 3 comic books that are in the works. One of them is almost done. I'm not going to share it on here because this is not obviously my channel,
Dang
but
it. Ugh.
it's. I mean, I posted everywhere. I posted constant images. I've shared 4th of July. I shared a picture of my main character
Mhm.
Xenos. He was originally the main character, but we were unsure of the climate of superheroes and how they're going. Like we had created Tao as a supplement because he's just a mass vigilante. Kind of everyone likes vigilantes, but then I noticed no, there's right now right now is the perfect time to release this comic book of
Mhm.
a cape superhero who is not some dark, twisted version of a Superman. He is a human with powers who actually genuinely wants to do good. He actually wants to save the day, and it's not because he was raised by good humans either. That's the interesting part. It's more like in spite of how he was raised. His parents feared his powers. He was
Mm.
unable. They were unable to cope. They put him in to an institution and tried, not realizing this institution was just a lab to experiment on individuals with unique abilities. And so he had to escape, and he will find a way to become more than what he was. But he was raised. He should have had a good life. He was raised in a family that was rich, bunch of billionaires, come from old money, but he chose a path that was one that had it was the only path that he could choose, which was to escape and live a life kind of on the run. But then he chose to become a hero anyway, using his gifts to help people. So that
This was
overall,
that
that
80-page book you've been working on with
yeah,
the towel, right?
well that well Tao, that one's a bit different. That one, what I'm describing is the one I'm releasing instead.
Oh,
Tao,
okay.
yes, Xenos is he's a superhero who is a human given who's born with unique abilities his parents could not handle, and instead of turning into some dark twisted, a dark twisted human with powers, he actually wants to help people
Mhm.
because he actually believes that his powers are meant to help others, and he struggles with that weight on him, but he has a voice that calls to him, that speaks from beyond, basically, that shows him the way to do what's right. And even though he had to be raised on his own live on his own as a teenager, he grew up and became successful. He has one of his main ability is to manipulate matter to create atomic structures of any kind, but he learned how to use it to create a energy source
Mhm.
that allow it's kind of like Iron Man in a way, but basically he understood how atomic structures work and was able to create an energy source that's powerful enough to fuel a city. And he used the money that he got from that to, because obviously no one's going to do that for free. He's like, as a human, he's still flawed. He has his character flaws, but he used it still, though it's cheaper and more sustainable than what was there before. And he also uses his powers to stop other threats that are coming through. That, well, you'll have to read the comic book to find out about.
Yeah. It's
But
Yeah, so the thing that I had implemented when I was tinkering around with the ideas of doing this is I want my characters to never deal with money. You know, I
yeah,
just want to make sure they're filthy rich. And people are like, but that means
mhm,
you don't have problems. It's like, well, that's not a thing. Everyone
mhm,
has problems. There's just different levels to problems based off how financially well off you are. Because people are always saying things like, well, if I was the boss, things are so easy. It's like, well, no, everything's not easy for the boss. Everything falls on you. So if the company fails and everyone's jobs are gone, that falls on you. There's actually more pressure on being the boss than just being the guy that puts the pencil in the machine to sharpen it.
yeah, exactly.
Are you saying I can't be the best pencil sharpener?
Yep. And then there's another comic book that right now I'm working on as a it's kind of a side comic that I did that it was kind of a joke. It started off as just a joke. Remember I don't know if you remember Young Justice. There was this thing on the TV series where they had uh Bow Hunter Security. I think it was Roy Harper, when he got a new life as a regular person. He started his own security agency to help make sure packages are delivered the way where they need to go, or just generally make sure people are protected. They protect everything basically, but they showed it was a funny little in-house. It kind of reminded me a little bit also of Ripperverse and that agency, that guy, I can't remember, Gooding, in some way reminded me of Gooding. Basically, a whole agency developed to help superheroes investigate paranormal things, but mostly it was like in this case, Bowhunter Security. It was a basic security agency with a bunch of ex superheroes and people who just wanted to give up that life, and they still had to get involved in ridiculous scenarios where they fight supervillains. And so that gave me an idea for a spin-off comic book I'm working on already. I already got the first 2 pages done. and it's called Red Wing Couriers.
Okay.
And basically, it's just the guy. It starts off with just one man who just he does basically DoorDash essentially, but he really takes his job seriously, and so he delivers packages wherever he's needed, and doesn't matter what it is, and that's how he becomes rich because he delivers packages to some big name individuals, and every now and then he receives threats saying he has to fight, and he is really adept at martial arts, and so we had this me and my brother had this joke about it. Said, what if this guy is almost better than some of the vigilantes in his fighting style, but he's just a regular guy in a biker suit, and he's just a, basically a complete dork who just made a lot of money doing DoorDash. So I thought this would be that's basically just a glorified DoorDasher in a vigilante looking costume, but it's just a biker suit. Because if you remember that time frame back in the early 2000s when they started releasing all these biker suits that looked like superhero clothing, and I was just thinking
Yeah.
that's insane. So it's like that would make a great delivery suit costume, like a suit uniform for those delivering stuff as a courier, so you can tell who belongs where. So I thought, well, Red Wing Couriers, he wears red, black, and like a
Hmm.
white color, maybe white accent color, because you got to have that rule. I think it's like 60-30-10 rule. You have different color percentages. So I thought you got mostly red with black and white accents. And so I designed this character as a complete joke, and it ended up becoming a whole comic book series. And I already wrote three different like chapters for it. It's 20 pages. That's just going to be a 20 pager, fun little mini series. I'm gonna release it on my coffee page, but and eventually I'll probably release it physically, but we'll see how that
Yeah,
goes.
I want people should really look into certain things that are made because I think everyone should do that. That way they understand the process of most things. Like a lot of people just see like, okay, there's Walmart. I go to Walmart and I grab my corn on the cob. I love my corn on the cob, as you guys know, but it's one of those things where the average person, when they don't see how something is made, they just assume Walmart or your supermarkets have it. That's how things are done. It's like I think the average person doesn't really care too much about how the sausage is made. So like earlier when we were talking about AI, it's like, well, if there was a book that was entirely
Yeah,
written by AI, well, would the average person notice? Like, would they? I don't know about that. Like, the average person is not very smart. Like, there's
yeah,
plenty of street videos, people asking people the most, not like anything sexual, basic things, like just very
yeah,
basic things like, can you name me 3 states in our country? Can you name me like 2 amendments from our constitution? The things like that. These are basic things that
yeah,
you would think the average person would know. Like they go and buy pizza, and it's like, well, I get pizza from this place. Well, they actually ordered the ingredients from another company, and they had them delivered by a truck to make sure they
yep,
can get things. But the thing is, but the biggest thing that I've noticed when it comes to a lot of this stuff is readership, right?
yeah,
Because when you're in the indie space, readership is very few and far in between. You know, so because I know you have your vigilante book, then you have the superhero one, then you have this other one you created. There's about 24 pages with the DoorDash guy. The thing is, how are people supposed to get readers based off all the competition around? It's like one of those things where you just kind of have to roll the dice. That's why I would
yeah.
always say if you're an indie creator, try to have at least more than one story because one of your stories might actually get readers more than the other one just based off of just the genre it's in. I've thought about tinkering with writing a romance story. Imagine me writing a romance story, getting all the ladies, you know?
I mean, I don't see why not. I'm writing one. I'm writing a fantasy series that involves it's a fantasy novel, not an actual
Yeah,
comic book. I used to write novelizations when I was like a teenager, and so it was one of those things where if you want to write something, might as well write it down. You have an idea, write it
yeah,
down, make
yeah,
it plain, and hopefully it'll work out. I mean, I can draw my own cover, so that's great, and I can do any kind of illustrations I want in mine. So I can do the whitewash paint looking design. I can do whatever. It doesn't really matter as long as you have an idea and you try. I mean, what good is it to let something like you're already gonna fail or succeed. It doesn't matter which way you go. You're gonna fail or succeed. You can't really you'll fail without but not even trying at all. If you don't try at all, you're gonna fail just by doing that because you never would have tried to begin with. Like what purpose is there in actually not trying?
Hmm.
It becomes a pointless endeavor to sit there on your hands and just pretend like your ideas are not going to work just because no one's reading them. You have to keep trying. Get someone will read it. Someone will
At
find it.
some point, someone will
Yes.
read it. Just depends on. I think it also goes into another discussion of like how tolerant are you and how willing you are to wait for things to happen. And like, a lot of
Yeah.
people just they're not really super creative in this space, like in a more of a long form, dedicated way. I think it reminds me of when people start YouTube and then they expect like all this instant success, and then they realize,
Oh
wait,
no.
getting a subscriber, getting just a person to subscribe to you can be a daily thing. Like I tell people this all the time because I don't really care about numbers like that anymore. I'm already at the point where I achieve the number to make money on the channel. It doesn't really matter to me. That stuff doesn't mean anything. I could have 3 people watching or nobody watching. It doesn't mean anything to me. But I know it really matters for a lot of people. But I will tell people
Yeah.
this: the biggest thing you must realize is this kind of endeavor, like you're talking about, whether you're writing novels, making comic books, or doing content creation or anything creative. Like you don't have to be on the internet. Like let's say you're someone who's just I don't know baking cakes or learning how to cook. You have to be patient with these things.
Yep.
Instant success is not going to happen unless you get extremely lucky. And those people that get extremely lucky, we're talking like the top. We're talking like what? It's like a what 0.1% average of people that get like that super lucky and they hit it
Yeah.
big. Most time, the exception, not the rule. You're gonna be like the rule. You're not gonna be the exception. You're gonna be grinding through a
Yeah.
lot of the stuff. Like when you had just posted that you got, I think your channel hit with 500, 400
No,
subs,
no, no,
right?
no, no. It's 350. It was at 349 and then now it's 350 51 now, I think.
Yeah,
And
dude.
it
Did you
took
know that most people quit when they don't get 100 subs? Most people don't
yeah,
even. That's
I don't
very.
quit. I do not quit at anything in life. I mean, look at my weight thing. My weight is a big issue. I'm trying to lose weight. I have gained it and lost it many times, and it's not because of lack of dedication. It's because of life circumstances hitting me. Literally, the ceiling fell on me. It's like I was borderline paralyzed. I learned how to walk again. I learned how to use my hand again, and now I'm all good. And so it's one of those things every so often a kidney problem because of that same damage, nerve damage, and my nerves are now restoring for some reason. I don't know what happened. All I can say is it's a miracle, but it's one of those things where don't question the gift, just accept it. I'm going to accept whatever blessings I get and whatever struggles come with them. I'm okay with it. You have to be able to take every hit and get back up, as Rocky said. It's not about how hard you hit; it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. That's literally one of the best lines in the Rocky
Because
in,
what
in
what I
Balboa.
wanted what I wanted to bring up to a lot of people here is if you didn't know this, and this is actually a statistic you can look up yourself. Most YouTube creators quit early. An
Yeah,
estimated 90 to 97% give up before reaching 10,000 subscribers.
yeah,
Low subscriber counts and low initial growth lead to discouragement, burnout, and the false impression that the algorithm is broken, causing most beginners to abandon their channels before uploading 100 videos. So just going off what I just told you, pretty much everybody, literally the entire pie. So like
yeah,
there's basically a total of three, so let's say 90 to 97. So I'll meet in the middle there and I'll say 5%. Pretty
yeah,
much 5% of people that start a YouTube channel stick out with it in the long term. We're talking like to the very end long term where you have an established subscriber base based on whatever you do. Doesn't matter if you live stream, do pre-recorded content, any niche you're in, 5% of people survive all at all. Also, there's people that don't even upload 100 videos. They upload maybe 1 or 2 videos and they're done. This goes to
Uh,
show you that the average person is not really in it long term when it comes to stuff. They truly do feel like it's
yep.
when they don't see the results, it's just not coming. And it's like the thing that you just said a second ago, which a lot of people don't understand. You're going to go through trials with this stuff. Like there's days where instead of going, okay, why didn't I get a subscriber on this day? Focus on how you can make your own content better. Like
Yeah.
there's so many other things to improve on before getting a subscriber. It's like, well, people do understand you could lose that subscriber too. If that person subscribes to you and sees awful content, they're
Yeah.
leaving. Like they're leaving. And keep in mind, some people's channels aren't even customized good. Like there's YouTube channels that don't even have like banners,
Yeah.
nothing. You don't even know when's the last time they uploaded because people don't actually know this on YouTube. You can customize your channel. Everyone knows this because everyone usually should have this. You can customize your channel in a way that shows, your latest content with videos, or if you've streamed live, or the most consistent content that's brought you in. Like there's the For You page that YouTube gave creators for all that stuff. There's people that don't even know that haven't even
Yeah.
implemented those things on their channel. It's like there's so many things you could do to make your channel look better that people go, okay, this person's taking it seriously. Because like the subscribers kind of want to see you kind of taking it seriously, even if you
Exactly.
only upload like a once or twice a week. It's like this person kind of cares about what they're doing. Like there's some little bit of care to it. Some people don't even have their channels customized in like a professional way. And YouTube, this is all free. This is free stuff in the platform you could do. So when people are sitting here going like, well, why don't I have readers, or why don't I have subscribers or followers? Like you gotta like every day try to think about what can I do to improve to get people. And if you're not getting those people, just understand you probably have more people watching you or following you than the person that just started. Remember, the person that just started had 0. You probably have like 10.
Yeah.
As none numbers go, 10 is better than 0. I'm
I
saying
mean,
right now.
when I was doing my live streams, my live streams in particular would teeter between 30 to 10 to sometimes just 1, and it would go up and down based on the day of the week or just any day. Really, it didn't matter when. I think it's just because people have a life. That's all it is. I I'm blessed to be able to choose what I can do, and I'm still trying to. I mean, sometimes I struggle. Sometimes I have no food, which is unbelievable given my size. But the the reality is that the algorithm is not the problem. The issue is the content. It's what you create. Also, it's what you strive to actually put out there. Like what you actually enjoy doing. Do you enjoy the work you create? As an artist, if you're an artist on YouTube, it sucks. But the reality is, what do you enjoy creating? Do you enjoy talking about what you're talking about on YouTube? Do you actually have fun at this? Is this fun for you? Or is
Mm-hmm.
it just a get rich quick scheme to try to be like all the other influencers? I can't stand influencers who don't like what they do. Do you enjoy what you do, or do you just enjoy money? Like, is money the only motivation in what you do?
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, you can be motivated by money too. That's fine. You can enjoy money.
Yeah.
I like money too. I wouldn't be able to get a 3D printer when I had it, even though that doesn't work anymore.
God.
But the reality is the system that they think everything is against them instead of realizing that struggle should breed some form of endurance, and for you to be able to
Mm-hmm.
actually try harder. We used to have a term for gamers. It was a try hard. It's like, what happened to them? What
Mm-hmm.
happened to the tryhards who were aggressive with all this stuff? When it comes to YouTube, they should be aggressive. They should take that same energy they put in a video game and be aggressively trying to make content to if they want to grow their channel. I'm trying to get back into that now that I figured out how to get I got a new phone so I can record stuff more often. I got a new camera that records in 4K. Now I still need a new computer, but my computer that I have right now that I jerry rigged to get it to work, it'll do something. It may not capture everything in 4K. It'll do mostly HD when it comes to live streaming, but when it comes to the actual camera quality, it's in 4K. And I just got to get a new light. That's next.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality is that you don't have to do that if you're someone who does art. Man, you don't even need a camera to point directly at you. If you look ugly like I do,
Yeah.
point it down at your art, make an avatar of yourself, a doodle of a little character, and then boom, you can get there's so many YouTube channels out there that have cool avatars that just do this.
Yeah.
That's all they do.
Yeah.
It's some of the best content out there. And then you have some that have just like just animated responses, and then that's it.
Mhm.
And that's doesn't require full animation, doesn't require rigging. Now, if you're really good at it, you can rig yourself an avatar and do some VTuber stuff. That is some of the most creative work I've seen. I don't like all VTubers. I think
I
many of
would
them are.
recommend if you're someone that is truly introverted and doesn't like showing their face, I like you were right. I would just recommend being a like not being a VTuber, but having a VTuber model
Yeah,
because and then it's crazy. I always tell people this too. If you're trying to make money off of YouTube, people are doing. I was pretty big back in the day with another thing that happened. I told you before, right? What's crazy is I got cleared by YouTube. I'm in the dark anymore. I'm able to create this content again because I had some haters out there who didn't like me. The best way I made money on YouTube was I actually made that's on crazy people. I just made pre-recorded videos. Now keep in mind,
yes,
I made a lot of pre-recorded videos that were 30 minutes long. It was a grind. It worked. It got me a lot of money. But the thing
yeah.
is, like most big creators I see people talking about, they don't really even understand how they make money. Do you guys really think that? Well, Nerdrotic is a little more different, but you could use Gary here for a second. I've met Gary. Do you guys think he makes more money doing pre-recorded videos or live streams?
More than
I
likely live
well,
streams because the
yeah.
super
Now
chats.
it's live streams. Yeah, because you get a lot of super chats.
Yeah,
But if he didn't do live streams and just did pre-recorded videos, he would still make a lot of money, because because YouTube changed the entire system where basically if someone watches like your entire video, how much money you get if you're
yeah,
that big when you watch your entire video, like John Campia, who's still somewhat big in the movie space. He still why do you guys think he releases clips of his podcast as videos on his YouTube channel that still get on
yeah,
average like 30,000 views? And keep in mind, guys, it's not just 30,000 views you're looking at the screen. What you need to pay attention to is how long someone's watching that video. So since it's someone like John Campia, whether you agree with him or not agree with him, people are watching that video from 0 seconds all the way until it's over. So
yeah,
what people should be working on, like we've talked about, is you need to work on keeping someone's retention when you're doing a video. And I would say if your goal is to make money, doing videos is the best way to make money. That's because like live streaming, the problem with live streaming is that it's kind of a harder barrier of entry to get like subscribers too, because like when someone watches a live stream, they go like the viewer is so paralyzed at what they should be doing. That's why there's a lot of lurkers when it comes to this stuff, because hey, this person's live. Well, how do I interact with this? There's so many different ways that you interact with a live stream differently compared to a video. You know what I mean? So it's something where I've always said this a lot, and I'll always have to keep saying this. If you want money, and your end goal is to eventually at least make your channel make money. I'm not saying your end goal is money, but you want to get a nice little change from YouTube some months. Pre-recorded videos is your way. And you have to
yeah,
make pre-recorded videos in a certain way that you can make them pretty often that gets people to watch, that'll grow your channel. I did the comic book channel for a little bit. I'm still doing it. I've just been very bad with uploading content. It started at 0 subs. It's almost 300. I didn't even do that. It wasn't nothing much I did. I never really live streamed on it that much. And when I did, I didn't really like doing it. I deleted all those. I just kept up the best content that I put up, which was pre-recorded. Did
yeah,
fine. It did fine. Like getting subscribers isn't really hard once you know what you're doing. It's just that most people don't know what they're doing when they first start, so they just kind of give up. They don't know. I'm throwing in the towel. I only have one subscriber, and his name is Joe from Australia.
man. I'll tell you, whenever I first started my YouTube channel, just the beginning stages, for the first year and a half, we only had about, I think it was 50 subscribers for a year and a half, just 50. It was I've had my channel for about 5 years, and I've had to take breaks because of life, just life in itself.
Yeah,
Not because
yeah.
not because the channel itself got me any kind of stressed out. I actually have fun whenever I do live streams. It's difficult whenever there's no one talking. I want to have actual dialogue. And hail to the chat, by the way. I just noticed someone said, I know someone
Oh,
here.
hi
Hey,
Emily, how you doing?
hi Emily.
Hi Orange.
But yeah, anyway, it's one of those things where the again, you have to enjoy what you do. I think the first thing I've noticed is many people, they start these channels expecting to grow, like you said,
Hmm.
infinitely. They expect to grow instantly. Like their stuff is so star spangled awesome that they will actually achieve greatness like instantaneously within a month or a week
Like
or a year.
serious main character syndrome right there. I'm the main
Yes.
character.
And it's like, now I understand people who like self inserts and comic books and movies and stuff like that, but to insert yourself into the YouTube space and expect that everyone to like you like as much as you like yourself, that's ridiculous. Now you should be able
Yeah.
to, now, of course, like yourself, enjoy. You should be able to love yourself as a person, but not to the point where you can't see. Hey, maybe you gotta learn. There's a learning curve here. Maybe you got to learn a little bit about yourself, a little bit. See what's so boring about you. Find it. Get some life experience, and have stuff to talk about. Some of my most loyal subscribers, they chat whenever they would chat. They still come to me on Twitter. One of them, his name is Ichthus. He was probably one of my favorite ones. He still talks. He still talks to me and says stuff like "When are you gonna come back to stream? When are you gonna come back to live streaming? We miss you." I'm just kind of thinking, really, because I just talk with whoever's there. I chat and I'll say a few things. Sometimes I mumble. Sometimes I'm too quiet, but I'm trying to get better at chatting with the chat and chatting with people generally.
Mhm.
But it sucks when there's no one there. When there's no one there,
Yeah,
it gets quiet and then like,
yeah. That's why I just I game stream. So if there's no one chatting, I just put my mic on mute and I just don't talk because the game does all that for people, right? The game
yeah,
will, yeah, that's what that's the trick I've learned. It's not that fact that no one talks. It's just that, if no one's, I don't want to force talking when nothing's there. I'll say my
yeah,
usual bits and then when that's over, I just let the game talk. And if someone does chat, I just talk to them when someone comes in because I'm not talking to myself. People said, you gotta learn it. I'm not doing that. I don't have any patience to do that. There are some things, it's the old saying, can't teach an old dog new tricks. I'm not talking to an empty chat. And I don't even care if it's empty. No one's here. That's fine. People got things going on. That was
yeah,
the other thing that always bugged me about some of these people too. It's like they'll come to these really odd conclusions. And keep in mind, I came to these weird, odd conclusions years ago that were wrong. It was one of them where, well, they don't like my content anymore. They must hate me. It's like, no, guys, people have lives. They're not perma stuck on the internet 24/7 looking
yeah,
for content to watch. I mean, there are people like that, but the average person is gonna be busy sometimes when you're streaming. They just
yeah.
are. Like they're not gonna
I
have a
mean,
chance to watch or be there, you know?
it's. I mean, for me personally, I'm always either drawing something or I'm trying to figure out how to get my grill to work. I got to get a new one again because my old one is broken. My smoker is broken. It is completely busted. But those are one of the, I spend most of my time if I'm not inside drawing, I'm outside trying to figure out how to grill. Hence the fat. But I mean, I love smoked brisket. I love all that stuff. So it's like you gotta spend time. You gotta find what you love, find what you enjoy doing, and don't worry about the chat. I mean, I've gotten better at it a little bit, but I intend to get back to, like I said, live streaming. If I have to freaking use my phone to live stream, I'll do it. At least my phone has something. It has a camera that's 4K and it works. It's like it's good enough. And when I get better, when I get more money and I get more opportunities, I'll get a new computer. I'll get a new one and I'll get back into full force live streaming, posting animated videos. I'm gonna be doing that already. I don't really need a full computer for that. That's the beauty of 2D animation. 2D animation, you get to really strive to, like, I think many people don't realize that you don't really need some powerful computer to animate in 2D. If you do frame by frame animation, which is what I do, you draw every single frame one by one, you can get a good 24 frame per second video and get a really good animation, something good, or reduce it to 12. 12. I've seen some people doing YouTube videos that are some of my favorite ones, little comedic shorts where they do like medieval commentary videos, like a character just, they don't do anything like a lot of like serious movements. They just call it little still frames that show and they emote the animation, and sometimes they'll add a few more frames, but the reality is that all it took was the funny scene to get you entertained about the little scene that's going on. Some people do full feature length videos of 30 minutes to an hour for just a little frame by frame little clip. Or some people have gotten some seriously good 2D animations going on. I think they use like grease pencil on Blender, or they use some other software. But the reality is there's so many opportunities to create, and I am perturbed with the idea that AI can just supplement all things. People don't care how you make it as long as you try. That's the real outcome, as long as you're actually trying to do something. And now there are going to be people, of course, who are all artsy fartsy like me, but all the artsy fartsy people are going to actually try to find real creatives. And the ones who want to just watch stuff because it's entertaining, they'll do that too. It just depends on which audience you're looking for. I like to look for something in between, kind of just those who appreciate art and those who are not pent up about AI, where they're just so all into it. Where I mean, I use AI for intros for my for my videos. I'm working on new intros so that I can come back in full force with really cool, title cards. I might do certain things like little memes that I use for my. I turn my own 2D and my own drawings
Well,
into a
since you
meme.
actually draw, another thing that people don't seem to understand, the biggest thing that attracts people is thumbnails. And that's why when people do like these, these YouTube tutorial videos for beginners, they're always making a big apparent point that thumbnails attract people. To be fair, I've not really cared about doing good thumbnails in a very long time, but I will tell people, if you do a good thumbnail, generally speaking, you will get people to watch your stuff. And also
Yeah,
being consistent too. I know a lot of people, but the main thing you said earlier, I will say, is true. Love what you're doing first. But if you are also someone that is consistent at what you're doing, like you're just consistently doing it, over time you will see results. It may
yeah,
not be as fast as you want, but it will be there. Like if you just streamed once a week on drawing any of your comic books, there's people that will watch at some
yeah,
point, you know.
yeah.
But
I mean,
just
they
you have
already.
to be willing to understand it's gonna take some time getting an audience to watch your stuff. Like people talk about like that fat fucking retard, Ethan Van Sciver. I mean, to be fair, guys, I don't want to admit anything good about that guy because he's just a horrible person. But it did take a while to get an audience for this guy. It takes a while for anyone, even if you don't like the person, it takes a while to get an audience. So like you look at Eric July and go, well, he had all these people. Yeah, that was built over a long time though. It
It's been
wasn't
like
just built.
12. It took him like 10 to 12 years. I
Yeah,
mean, and it
yeah.
was and he actually did a whole lot of different things. He started with music, and then he went into YouTube commentary, and then he just up and did all kinds of different things. And again, life experience. You must have stories to tell, things to
Mhm.
do. You have to be able to chat and actually have some life in your bones. It's like actually be able to, entertain your audience, actually be able to talk to them and have some level of charisma. I mean, I don't have much, but enough. It's like you got to have some confidence. You got to be able to actually look them in the eye and be able to actually maintain some kind of personality that's yours. Don't pretend. If you pretend, you're gonna get caught at some point. And if you pretend to be something you're not, then
Oh
you will
yeah.
get caught.
Yeah,
It's
for
like,
for me, I can't ever, pretend to be someone I'm not. It just hurts. Like what's weird about my brain is I'll keep thinking about it, and I always go like, "Dang, I really wasn't being honest there," and that'll just eat at me for a couple of days, and I'm just like, I'd rather just tell the truth and just be honest the best way I can. Because like,
yeah,
you ever thought about that? Like, there's times in your life where you could have did something more honestly. Not that you were being super deceptive, but you didn't do it to the best of your abilities. Maybe you didn't say a certain thing in a certain way that you should have, and you're like, man, that really sucked. I didn't really do that. I don't want to have those kind of thoughts anymore. I just do things the best way I can now.
yeah.
Honestly, straightforward.
It's one of those things where I think that people are either don't like themselves enough to be able to create and be a real person, to be real online,
Mhm.
or they just really there's some people who actually do it. They put on a persona so they can hide who they are, so they can have a personal life outside of YouTube, and that's fine too, I guess. But it's one of those things where you're going to get freaks.
Mhm.
It depends on what kind of persona you put on. If you put on a persona that's completely stupid, then you're going to get people who will come after you thinking they know you. Like I've
Oh
spoken
yeah,
to
then you had that one stalker that came and visited you. Like, what the hell? That
it was
was
funny. That one in particular actually was because I was being myself. That one was the weird thing. But what happened? He ran away, and and he never came back. And it's one of those things where I didn't have to call the cops on him. I didn't do anything. It's
mhm.
just that people, when they meet who you are, they think they know you because they have a perceived notion of who you are. But then they find out who you actually are. That's a whole other thing. But again, you have to. It's different for me because I'm 6'7" and I'm freaking 300 pounds. Like I'm gonna be on them. I'm gonna be able to tear them apart. But the reality is, not everyone has that. Not every YouTuber has that, and not everyone has a weapon. Not everyone has the ability to defend themselves. So they gotta be careful, of course. But I think that the reality is that if you're personable, but you are also reserved when it comes to certain
Mhm.
things that are more important. Like my own personal struggles in life, I don't consider that something so relevant to where it actually matters. Like it doesn't define who I am. That's the problem. People think that every little thing in life defines you. Like you are who you are the next day. That's it. What you do in that day is who you are.
Yeah, also another thing that goes with that is therapy too. Like
Well,
a
yeah, obviously.
guy a guy going to a woman with really no life experience outside of college, asking her what he can do to better his life. And it's like, yeah, there are times in life where you should have those outlets to vent your feelings. But this is something where people are using that as a crutch, though. Like, if there was an army guy or someone in the army or the Marines or the Air Force and they had a horrible accident, lost their leg, or just not lost their leg, just seeing traumatic things. Yeah, I am someone where these things happen to you, vent them, obviously, take your time. But then there's a thing where you use this as a crutch. So it's like, I woke up today and I was feeling sad. It's like, you went to therapy over that? Eh,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Like, there's days, guys, that I wake up and, well, not super sad, but like, okay, what am I gonna do today? You're a little frustrated on, okay, what am I gonna put my time into? These are basic human emotions, though. People are using therapy as like a crutch for basic human emotions that you'll just go. These are just things you go throughout the day. You know,
Yeah.
there's days where you're frustrated more, days where you're happy more, days where you're sad more, but I don't need to go and vent that to a random stranger. Like, what? Keep in mind, even if you did, I was tell you, even if you did do that, what is that going to change though?
Exactly.
What? It doesn't change anything. Like, I truly believe that if the men that exist today existed back then to build the world the way it is, our country, we would never have anything. People here are fighting to not even do the most basic things. I remember someone told me they didn't want to do a 9 to 5 because they called it slavery. Not kidding. It was an actual thing they said. I'm like, all right, it's like, why would I even bother wasting my time explaining concepts to someone like that? Like, why? Why would I waste my time? If someone already made up their mind like that doing a job is slavery, we don't need to have a conversation. You
Yeah.
yourself need to actually educate and update your mind on slavery and what it was and why working 9 to 5 is nowhere near what slavery is actually.
I
It's
think
crazy.
it's so I think the only people who say that are those who have all their money tied up in loans, a whole bunch of
Mhm.
loans, and they don't have the ability to pay it off. And so what happens is they get tied up in that and they're only qualified for the job that they have and not the job they want. They think that they're qualified just because they have a degree, but the reality is people get hired based on not just your degree. You get hired on experience and also you get hired based on, well, is the job available? I think the problem is everyone wants to apply for the same kind of job they get in a degree. And what happens is they get stuck in a 9 to 5 and then they think that it's slave labor, even though it's just normal work. It's like I've worked in like try cleaning construction cranes for a minute. Construction cranes for cities, high rises, about 200 feet off the ground, cleaning those things. I thought that was fun. I had a good time. And it wasn't until I fell down. Not granted, I didn't fall from the greatest height. Just it was like 20, 30 feet. It was like, and I fell and I landed on my feet. That didn't kill me. It was. I still want to go back to work. I got let go because they were apparently uninsured. And so it's one of those things where the irony is that I didn't find that to be slave labor. Most people would because I mean I still got paid, so I don't really care. The reality is that if you enjoy what you do and you work hard at it, you should be able to see it as an accomplishment and you should be able to live life without feeling like everything is against you. Like life itself is against you. It's like I have experienced more death and turmoil in life than most. And it's like, and I still have fun every day. I get to see my sister every day. I get to see my brother every day.
Mhm.
I get to see my grandma every day. She might not be here forever, but I'm going to enjoy every second with my grandma. I'm going to enjoy every second with my mom.
Hmm.
My mother is, she struggles every now, but she has her own little her quirks that I enjoy talking to her about. I enjoy what we both. My grandma and my mom are some of the biggest comic book nerds, sci-fi nerds, action movie nerds in the world. My mom was a martial artist and bodybuilder. It was like it's one of those things where my father was not any of that. He was some kind of pathetic worm. But the reality is that you should enjoy the people that you're around. You should find a reason to keep going on anything you do. When it comes to YouTube, especially YouTube now, the fact that people actually give up on YouTube, what they they give up, it's YouTube. It ain't.
Yeah. And then
It
you get
ain't.
all the
It's
other
not,
excuses that come with it too. It's like YouTube burns me out. You barely have like 500 subs and you barely upload videos. What burns you out about it? Also, what burns someone out with sitting in a chair, potentially talking into a microphone? Come on,
yeah.
sitting in a
It's
chair talking into a microphone burns people
exactly.
out. That's ridiculous. That's crazy. Keep in mind,
It's,
you don't have to do YouTube. You
yeah.
have to. When someone says work burns them out, I understand that. You have to work to make money
Yeah.
to live. That's fine. You don't have to do YouTube. This is a creative outlet for you. That way
Exactly.
you could get your mind off things, where you could kind of free your mind up and you're just for a few hours and talk about the things you love. It's like, God damn, you could burn out sitting on a chair talking to a microphone. You got bigger problems than YouTube. I always tell people, I don't think it's ever content creation that's your issue. I think issues people have are in their own personal life. They just kind of scapegoat YouTube
Yeah.
as
I
a
mean,
personal issue.
it's kind of funny too because like for a few months now, I've had a few struggles where I didn't have any commissions. The last 2 months, I had no commissions,
Mm.
so I was skating by on fumes and nothing to eat mostly. And then today, I got a new commission, and so I'm like, great, that's wonderful. And so the reality is that again, you cannot dwell on what you don't have and whatever you feel as though is dragging you down when it's just you. It's your own heart, your own mind, your own circumstances. You can change them. Get a job.
Mhm.
That's like get it. Apply for a job. Even if you, I mean, for me, I've applied for jobs. I'm not getting hired, but it's the reality is everyone has their own little things they're dealing with. But again, YouTube burnout. I don't understand that now unless you're not talking to people, you're not communicating. I guess it's because I'm surrounded by people who actually, love me, and so there's that. And
I'll just
there's people.
rub it in. You're not a part of a black family. Oh God, fuck.
Nah, this is what happens when you're. Oh,
Good
that got,
Lord.
that got me.
No, you have like there was this guy at my second job. He was like, it was Father's Day. He's like, I was like, hey man, what are you gonna do for Father's Day? He's like, I'm just gonna hang out with my dad. And I was like, oh yeah, man, just rub it in. Oh
Oh,
okay, all right, just rub it in because I don't have a dad. Okay, it's fine, it's fine. Michael,
yeah,
what's up, man? How you doing? But yeah, I always tell people, there's a bunch of different ways to tackle things. Like even when it comes to like podcasting, people think, oh, I'm not seeing the success. That means I have to quit my show. And it's like, if people understand, just sticking out with whatever you're doing is already going to put you in a different tier of percentage of success compared to other people that have already quit. I mean, just even that alone, like you just what I just told people earlier in the show.
yeah,
Basically, like 5% of people that start doing this kind of thing stick with it. Nearly
yeah,
95% of people quit, and just for YouTube purposes, there's people that don't even get into making 100 videos. That means, like you say on YouTube, you tell them certain things. You get these channel results. There's like channels with like 5 subs, 2 videos. Maybe they've uploaded like years ago, but they uploaded like a song from a TV show or a movie you liked as a kid, and that's actually all their views anyway. When you could actually
yeah,
do that on YouTube and not get in trouble. It's like, God damn, it's man. There are other people that only have YouTube channels for trends. Just so many different things. When it comes to this stuff, I always tell people just take it easy. Take it one day at a time. If you don't feel like uploading, don't force yourself to, and just enjoy what you're doing. But when you're doing this and you want to see success at a certain point,
exactly.
you just have to understand success in whatever form you want will come. It's just going to take some time. It's not going to be instant. I know people keep saying it's going to be instant. Also, all these other big YouTubers you're watching have editors and a team of people. You're doing it by yourself. I don't edit videos. I don't do that shit. What I do is when I edit it, I put it into my YouTube. I have a video editor. I put it. There's an intro. There's the video. Then there's the outro, and that's it. And then it renders. That mostly anything of editing I ever did was just grabbing a thumbnail off the internet and just putting text on it. It's like, if you want to do all that serious editing, you can. It's just people do understand. If you're someone who's just starting out, you don't need to do all that stuff. It's just not what people care about. What people care about when you first initially start is audio. They care about, do you sound good enough?
Yep. I mean, most of my videos that actually do good either have two things. One, it's either got me talking, where I'm actually enunciating my words and actually saying things that people are interested in, or it's a drawing of a girl. But the reality is, like right now, the main video on my channel that's doing well is just a drawing video I did of it was a time lapse of my character Luna Lockwood. Is a female character who will eventually become vigilante, but that's something else. But the drawing is just some girl. It's a girl that, and based off of a girl I used to date. She's dead, but the character is one of those things people liked it. It's got over 60K views, and it's insane. I don't even understand what happened. It was within like a year that it got most of those views.
That's crazy. That is insane. That's probably where most of your subscriber base came from. Looking at it.
Actually, really? That only I only got 20 subscribers from that video. The rest of them were just from me talking.
It was crazy. Back in the day on YouTube, if you made a video that got that many views, nearly 90% of subs would come from that video. Nowadays, that's what I told people. Subs don't really do all that. It's what was the indicator of subs? All those past myths and conceptions of subscribers, that's all different now. Like people, when they watch videos that go viral like that, like you essentially had a nice little algorithm push with that. Some people don't even subscribe. They just watch and they go, all right, goodbye. That's it. They don't even watch, you know, because YouTube has in-depth analytics in your own channel to show people where most of your subs came from. Keep in mind, they give you a good indicator of where to get them. You just kind of have to now, if you want to pursue those endeavors, go into them. You know, because they've updated all the analytics now to the point where they can tell you, hey, most of your subs came from this. If you want to do and gain more subs that way, you can make more content based around this subject or person. Here's why I wouldn't say make a whole entire YouTube channel dedicated to one person, because, you know, bullshit with how the system works with YouTube could be a thing. I would say don't do that. But, you know, people don't listen to me. I'm a genius.
My channel has the stuff that does the best is actually my original content. If it's something regarding my comic book and regarding my animation, especially animation, that thing got me about 40 subscribers in 2 days. 40 in 2 days. I was just I just couldn't believe it. I was dumbfounded. I cannot describe how I felt, because I was just thinking it's not much for most people, but for me, that was actually some of the most interesting things to watch this week, was just seeing that many subscribers show up out of nowhere within like literally about a few weeks, 2 weeks, I think. And I was just looking at that and say it was just animation and my comic books. They don't even have a lot of views, but subscribers I got from that. And so, which to me, the subscriber count, and most of them were real people. They weren't, only got 2 bots, and then they left, and then someone else replaced it. And it's the ones that replaced it were real people. And so it's just kind of fun to see actual organic growth. To me, that's what's interesting, is organic growth, not just a bunch of bots and a bunch of Jeets, a bunch of Pajeets and stuff, and fake users that have no actual name, just a number. I don't like those. I usually, nowadays, I've been working on trying to ban them as I see them. I'll try to get them removed from my channel, or I'll just delete. You can actually delete. I remember, it's last time I tried, I think it was a few months ago. I haven't actually gotten any, but usually you can delete followers that are, or subscribers, I mean, that are a bot account. It's a fake account. And so I was just kind of, it's kind of funny that I would get any bot accounts given the fact that it's such a small user base.
Yeah.
But for some reason I do, and I don't like it, especially on Kick. I have had nothing but bots watch over there. No one watches except bots. And so I'm thinking I need to either revamp the content on Kick, to do something more specific. I'm thinking
I noticed
I
that with
might,
Kick too. There's just a
yeah,
weird abundance of bots, you know?
mhm,
Like you'll gain followers, but I don't really feel like they're actually real, you know? I
yeah,
have met a few real people through Kick. I will say this, as much people give Twitch shit, I have met real people through Twitch more often or not. Because you know, like
yeah,
getting viewers on Twitch is very hard. I will say I've gotten more real viewers on Twitch than Kick. That's just my own personal experience, you know.
yeah,
I think the most truly useless streaming platform in all of it is definitely Twitter. Twitter is only good for just letting people know you went live. That's it.
yeah.
The
It's,
notification on Twitter is amazing, but
and
everything else is ugh.
it looks like they even disabled the chat function on Twitter. I tried watching your stream the other day on Twitter, and it was just kind of, or Twix or whatever. I tried watching it, and it was like I tried to chat, like post in the chat, it wouldn't show up for a while, or it wouldn't show up. And then now, I think I tried watching a stream just yesterday. There was no chat. There was not even a chat function. You can drop a comment in the underneath the video during a live stream, but it won't
Mhm,
show up in any of the chats. It won't show up as chat. It'll show up as a comment after the video.
mhm.
And then usually the stream will get deleted, so the comment it gets deleted too. And so it's just kind of ridiculous. Twitter is kind of floundering at this point. It doesn't really know.
Yeah.
I think
Mhm.
it's struggling with its identity. I think it's personally just they're trying to figure out if they're going to be just social media, or if they're going to be just a
Remember they want it to be the everything app, and it's like you can't be the people are frustrated. You can't be the everything app because there's better companies at doing those certain things already that people are already gonna give their money to. Like
yeah,
the whole streaming thing. If they want to be big at streaming, well, there needs to be a monetization program. There needs to be you need to give people a reason to stream here, and the
yeah.
chat is terrible. Even when because I even when I will see there's the chat, I don't use that shit. That shit is garbage. It's
Mhm.
terrible. It looks like something from like AOL days or whatever that was, you
Even
know?
restream, whenever you use restream on, to manage the chat, even that looks better than the chat function on
Uh-huh.
Twitter. I was
Yeah.
like, and it's
There's
not even that
free
good.
alternatives to StreamYard and Restream that look better with chat functions. It's
Yes.
crazy.
And
Absolutely
then I mean, don't get me started on
crazy.
Rumble Studio. Rumble Studio is one of the worst ones, but
Almost
I
Studio
try
is pure garbage. Yeah.
now I'm trying. I tried to figure it out, and it's one of the ones that crashed the most out of all the ones that are there. It's not because they can't figure it out, it's because it just won't work. And I think it uses all your bandwidth. That's the problem. It's using all your bandwidth instead of using their own servers to kind of carry it, because they don't have powerful enough servers. They need proper servers and proper bandwidth control to actually make it work. Now, I could be talking out of my butt, but the reality is, I noticed the signal dips as soon as I try using Rumble Studios. If I use Restream, I use StreamYard, or any, even just straight OBS, it won't stream to Rumble Studios without crashing. It is one of the most laggy softwares and laggy platforms that you can use. Now
Mhm.
I might try. I'm not saying I'm not going to try again. I'm going to keep trying. I never give up. As my friends say, never give up, never surrender.
What I do for Rumble is I don't stream there anymore because I think the platform is just I think that platform sucks. But what I do is I just upload the VODs there.
Yeah.
I would just I would recommend if you don't want to stream there as much, just upload all of your content just there, and then upload the VODs there newly as they're done when you're done either live stream or making a pre-recorded video because just but I mean to be fair, you can use Restream or StreamYard with Rumble. It's just the only way to really make money off Rumble is using Rumble Studio. That was my biggest problem with Rumble. It's like, wait a minute, if I want to use your platform, I have to use your streaming service. Like what? What?
Yeah.
Why
And
can't
then
I just
these
use
days,
OBS? Why can't I use StreamYard? Why can't I use Restream? What? That's so stupid.
and
That's
yeah, and it's one of these things where these days, as it is, I mean, I already have to pay for StreamYard, and I gotta pay for a Restream, or one of those. Restream is for me right now the best one, for
it's not
now.
bad. I've had it before. It's actually pretty good for the price you get. It's actually pretty good. I like
Yeah,
Restream.
my brother uses it. My brother wants me to, he is worried about getting on stream because he's not that into it, and we want to, both co host the program, actually do our own little channel chat, talking about comic books, superheroes, and whatnot. But it's one of those things where we're still debating. My brother, he's gonna probably borrow a laptop or something, And because right now we kind of share this computer, we go back and forth whenever we're like debating who's going to use the computer today. Like, thankfully, I have a tablet for every other purpose. I think it actually hosts a stream directly on this tablet. It has like a 12 core processor on it, so it's good enough.
What's crazy is those $40 to $50 tablets at Walmart or Best Buy are pretty good. They've really improved since the last time I bought one. Last time I bought a tablet was years ago, but
Oh,
they've
this is
they're
this is a Samsung Galaxy tablet.
yeah, they're
This
way better now than what they used to be, man. They used to be some garbage back
yeah.
in the day.
My first tablet was when I was like 12, and it was a knockoff Android tablet looking like an
Right?
iPad, and it was from
Yeah, that's
Japan.
what I had
I
too. Yeah.
I got it for $7 on
Oh god.
on eBay. It worked. Hey, I watched some HD movies on there. I put all kinds of pirated movies. I sell the CDs on there, and I even put a game or two on there. Eventually, it went, because it was a
Yeah.
4 gig. It had 4 gigabytes of RAM. It's like that's
Mine,
nothing.
the bigger problem was mine because I had two. I forgot what happened to the other one. I think I still have it. The audio component in it just burnt out. It doesn't like you turn the audio on, it doesn't
Uh,
work. I was like, fuck. That I never had a tablet since then. And then keep in mind, I was like, why would I need a tablet though? It's a tablet was one of those things where it's like, okay, I have a phone that I have for my recreational use, and I have a
yeah.
computer, then I have a TV. It's like, what would I need a tablet for? You know?
But that's the beauty of this. This one in particular, I got. Now this is not marketing thing. I bought this with my own money. This was a Samsung Galaxy S10 FE Plus, something like that. It's like a 14-inch screen. It is it draws in near 8K quality. Like it can draw near 8K quality and plays videos 4K, records its webcam itself is in 4K, and it has Ultra HD settings on there, and it's an OLED screen, so it's a perfect screen for me. And it's one of those things where it was either this. I got this on Black Friday for $200. Now it's like 800, but it was one of those deals that I had because I subscribed to Amazon Prime. Now I'm not a big fan of Prime. I don't like their content, but it's good enough for good to get good deals every so often. It's just one of those things where I think everyone has their own good luck or bad luck
Are
when it comes to
are
Prime.
you gonna be watching Masters of the Universe on there?
I watched it in theaters with a friend.
Oh,
I saw
okay.
it I saw it twice,
Did you like it?
and it was it had a lot of good moments. I think it mostly was. I like the joke. They kind of joked about the
It was this show, right?
it was they joked about HR, human resources.
Okay.
I actually liked that the way they did it. They played it off nicely. I didn't like seeing it. That's the problem. It's one of those things where the joke was understandable. They're trying to kind of play both sides of the aisle when it comes to this. I just didn't think the joke needed to be in the movie. Kind of took away from the movie, in my opinion. It was just like, why would he be a part of that? I would have enjoyed it more if he was this borderline alien personality on Earth, hidden in the jungle somewhere, living off the woods. That would have been more
Mhm.
interesting to me if he was a rustic person living in the woods, aware of modern conveniences on Earth, trying to get back home. That would have been more interesting. It shows a more masculine
Mhm.
side of him. Instead, he was this pouty little kid. And then suddenly, the thing I liked the action. I loved the story. But one thing, he barely used the sword except for one scene, and it was supposed to show maybe he shouldn't use the sword. And I was just conveying that as a message to the story was not something I wanted to see. Again,
Mhm.
I wanted to see him actually use a sword justly and actually fight with it throughout the movie, not cry with it and not pout. Even as if you watch the early 2000s series, it was back in the I think like 2001,
That was my
2000.
introduction to the series. It was on Cartoon Network. Yeah, so good, man.
It was one of the best shows, and it showed he wanted to be a warrior on his own. He wanted to
Mhm.
fight.
Yeah.
It wasn't about it wasn't an obsession with the sword. He didn't give a crap about the sword. What he cared about was protecting his kingdom and protecting his people and becoming a hero, a warrior, and strong. This guy was not that. They tried to show that, But the problem is, I think you have to they don't understand masculinity anymore. They think they hear the word masculinity, they think toxic. And so they got to find some way that so much so that they've forgotten what masculinity is. And it is strength to protect, strength which protects, strength that seeks not idle glory, but the glory of heroism,
Hmm.
which is helping people, protecting, being noble, the sacrifice of being a hero, means laying down your life, being willing to lay down your life. Only one scene I thought was cool, which I thought would have been a little bit better, is if the scene where he's stabbed in the chest when they say that he didn't need the sword, that the power is within. They keep doing that, but the problem I would have enjoyed better when he pulled out the sword instead of it being broken. It would have been cool if he pulled it out and the sword was intact. Like suddenly the sword emerged from
Yeah.
him. Like it was fully formed. No blade pieces coming back together like Thor's hammer. I didn't like that. I thought it was okay, but it was just meh. It would have been kind of cooler if, like they said, that he is the power of the sword. So why not pull the full sword out of him, as though the sword was never broken to begin with, and the pieces just fade away. That would have been a more intense moment. And then he uses the sword to cleave Skeletor in two. That would have been kind of interesting. just
Hmm.
and just chop him. Like hit the punches were funny mostly. I thought they were funny, especially the goofy faces that he made. It just to make it look powerful, it looked goofy. But I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I thought it was a fun movie. I thought it was entertaining. But again, there are flaws. I saw it twice, and I did watch it at home. I
But
watched.
overall, your general concession is that you did like the movie. It was fun. It was enjoyable. Just needed a few tweaks here and there to make it
Yeah.
really a much more better movie.
Exactly. I think it needed, again, it needed someone who understood masculinity properly, someone who actually understood what it means, and someone who understood that the HR stuff, no one wants to know about that. No one wants to talk about it. It's a
Hmm.
good joke. It's a good joke, but it's no one
If you
wants
can
to.
kind of portray the humor and the atmosphere of that situation correctly, yeah.
And also, well, they did the joke. I think they did the joke well. The problem is it's not a joke I like. Like there's
Hmm.
jokes that are boring. Like there's like
Hmm.
ha, ha. It's a good chuckle,
Hmm.
but it ain't the best joke. It's like it's such dry humor that like I needed a wipey to wipe my ass. That's how dry it was. It felt
Hmm.
like I felt dry, and I felt dry, dehydrated watching it, and it was okay though. It was again not bad, just not great. A good movie, but not the best that
Hmm.
it could have been.
But I do
That
think that having just a solid, fun, good movie is
yeah,
good. But it's just I've always told people this with Master. I like my introduction to that series was the 2000 the early 2000s cartoon on Cartoon Network. Loved it.
yeah,
I loved it so much. I even had toys of it. I remember I had toys of it, and it was something that was really weird for me because I only really ever got like anime toys or Power Rangers and stuff like that, right? But that one was like, I was like, oh, this is really cool. And then
yeah,
I remember with Masters of the Universe, there's the '80s series before that one, and then there's the live
yeah.
action movie. But I only ever watched that. And then people don't need to understand Masters of the Universe. Like, there's very rare things that happen in life when it comes to this kind of atmosphere. But I do feel like when it comes to streaming, there's not much in streaming that really breaks out and enters like the zeitgeist to make it really a big thing. If you guys remember, the backlash to Kevin Smith's He-Man Master of the Universe series was massive. People did not
Yeah,
like that. I think that was ultimately the final nail in the coffin for that series in general, because I think the numbers of this movie reflect that, because people still, when you bring up that Kevin Smith Masters of the Universe show, people go, man, I fucking hated that. I hated every minute of that. Well,
yeah,
then there's no reason for you to believe that this is good. Even if you wanted to give it a chance, there's no reason for you to believe that this would be good based off the last thing that happened. And, I think I've mentioned this on Twitter a lot too. Like most of the franchises nowadays are going off of this mindset of like, what have you done for me lately? Well, guys, the Kevin Smith series for Masters of the Universe which was what was done lately, and nobody
yeah,
really liked that. And it was horrible. It was horrible timing too, because it came out at the same time that Zack Snyder's Justice League came out when that was really big. And
yeah,
people didn't really care for it at all, and it was God. And this is also a property that's like super old too. I don't even think because it's super old, it doesn't have enough people. It's just timing too. Like when Masters of the Universe came out, like there was Obsession, Backrooms, Mandalorian and Grogu came out, Scary Movie 6 came out, Devil Wears Prada 2 came out. Like it was this movie needed to be released at a moment in time where it could really absorb like all the box office it needed to be. Like 6 movies. It was 6 movies
Yeah.
that came out. It was like it was gonna get eaten alive at competition. I'm
Yep.
sorry. It was just it never had a fair shot box office wise. And then some people were like, but it wasn't. It didn't make enough money because it was bad. It's like, guys, that's not a sufficient argument. There's plenty of great movies that don't make enough money. Plenty of like
Hey.
classic films, legendary classic films that don't make enough money. So it's not.
Yep.
That's not always a good fair comparison. It just isn't. You know, if you release
Yep.
a blockbuster like that one, sandwiched between 5 other big blockbusters, they all just eat each other. Sorry,
Exactly.
it's just what it is. That's how that's always worked. You know, like why do you guys think Supergirl didn't do as well? Not because it's not that actually isn't a good movie at all. It's terrible. But Spider-Man's
Okay.
coming out next to it.
Oh yeah, that's
Just saying, like timing matters a lot for this stuff. If you put Masters of the Universe Father's Day release, or you put it out like when you have one of those slow months coming up later in the year, or you put it out like in a March or a February, I do feel like it might not have made that much more money. It would have at least potentially had gotten like at least $200 million. Putting it out next to 6 other blockbusters, that's just suicide. They might as well just throw that movie into a freaking ocean of bloody meat and just dumped it in there. Might as well, you know. And I know people have mentioned the thing with that creative where he said, "Yeah, Amazon's doesn't care about the box office." It's like, okay, guys, this is the thing that people do when they lie constantly. Amazon definitely cares about the box office results because they paid a lot of
yeah.
money to get. Go back to in. This movie has been in production hell forever. It's been shopped around probably between every studio you can imagine. Then it landed at Netflix. They didn't want to release it. And then Amazon bought it from Netflix. They bought the rights to distribute the movie from Netflix. So they have the entire, I'm pretty sure they own the Masters of the Universe property right now. They put it out. They definitely wanted to make money from it because they bought it from Netflix. How you guys know Netflix didn't sell that to them for cheap. Nothing less than, I'd imagine, $400 some odd million. You know, like the people definitely, Amazon, the biggest company in the world, which is renowned for making money, cares about making money. If they don't care about how much money this movie made, announce a sequel then. Announce it then. Announce a sequel. If you truly didn't care about how much it made at the box office, announce a sequel. That's what I told people they do. We live in a day and age where the box office results do matter. I don't know why people keep saying these things of like, but on VOD and all these other things, it's like, yes, but we don't know how tangible those numbers are. Someone going to a theater and getting actual money is a tangible thing you can quantify. Someone watching it on their streaming service is like, what if I'm having sex with my wife and that's on the background? How do you know I was even watching that movie? What if I'm blowing this chick's back out? You know? I'm just saying, that's how it quantifies for people, you know? Everything's always number one of the streaming services too, all the time. Any new Netflix movie, it's number one. Best movie ever made, most watched.
It's one of the things that, it's one of those things where you can't really control the numbers. And just, again, everyone who goes to see the movies and all that, I didn't pay to go see Masters of the Universe. It was a friend who gave me the ability to see it. He's the one that paid for it. I enjoy actually hanging out with my friends, and I enjoy hanging out with my brothers and my brother and my sister and all that. And so it's one of those things where going to see a movie, if I don't have to pay, I'm gonna go. It's like these days I'm not gonna spend money on temporary things that I can't hold in my hand. I already have too many things that are not temporary, and so it's like I'd rather have that and then waste money on what I don't need. And when it comes to the movies, I think again, Masters of the Universe, that was pretty good. Supergirl, there were some moments I thought could have been good, but again, it was one of those things where the story was flat. Everything about it was bad. The casting, it's weird.
I was done. Dude, I'm about to walk out of the movie when she was on. She went to a planet. Well, she had to go to this planet, but there was a moment in the movie where they tell you that there's a rotating sun between kryptonite energy and the sun. Guys, do you know how utterly retarded that is? Superman in the Superman movie was literally on the ground coughing up a lung because Metamorpho made like a pseudo fake kryptonite kind of thing next to him, and he was on the ground dying. Then Supergirl is in a planet where, didn't it say in like that little title card that the sun rotates like every 12 hours or something like that? How in the world could a Kryptonian survive on a planet of 12 hours of kryptonite energy? Not just energy, it comes from the sun. Do you guys know how powerful the sun is? The sun
Yeah.
powers our entire planet. There is absolutely no way on this planet any Kryptonian could ever survive that. General Zod himself couldn't survive
Yep.
that. And she's
It
just
would
on the
irradiate.
ground dying.
It
And
would
she doesn't die.
irradiate. It
What
would
is
the whole
that?
planet. The whole planet would be irradiated with Kryptonian energy. So even if the sun sets, it doesn't matter. The radiation remains forever
Radiation.
for thousands of
They explained
years.
in the movie. Remember when they're having that flashback? Her parents died from just being exposed to it a little bit. Just
Yep.
exposing to it, just being a little bit exposed to it, literally killed them in the long term. So wait a minute. If kryptonite was exposed to them, just a little, probably a little speck of it or whatever, because when they like some residue was taken from it when they broke off that from Krypton. It's like, wait a minute, they died from a little exposure of kryptonite. You're telling me she survived on a planet where it was 12 hours of sun radiating kryptonite energy? Do you guys know how powerful that is? She's under it. Hours of agonizing pain. Hours, not an hour, hours, minutes, seconds. You telling me she doesn't have any effects after that? It's just all. I was like, "Fuck this! This is illogical. That's literally stupid." I couldn't. I was watching that and I was like, "I should leave right now. This is actual garbage. This is."
It was as though they never even read.
Crap.
It's like they never actually read. They heard words from the comic book, but did not actually
Right when
read
it
it for
sunsets
themselves.
night, that's when it all goes away. See, I was wrong. My bad. What do I know? Actually,
Yeah.
I'm gonna see Spider-Man, Insidious, Resident Evil, and Creatorverse Acme. I will be watching Spider-Man. I can't watch it next week when it comes out. I have to watch it on the following Monday when I have off.
Yeah.
Like any new movie, just to let you guys know, I have to watch new movies on my days off. I can't watch them opening week. I just can't. It's just not possible. But I can watch them the next week when they're $5 Tuesdays. I can do that actually. But what's another movie you're talking about? Oh no, it's oh my god, a dialogue too. Because I know you write comic books, so you know about. Dude, in Supergirl, did you notice there was no meaningful dialogue between her and Krem at all? Just nothing. And even when they finally did talk to each other, nothing. Useless. Just talking in jibber jabber, gibberish talk. Hey, you're bad. I know. Fuck. What is this? Who wrote this?
It's like TikTok. They wrote as though it's TikTok brain. TikTok brain. It's literally just those who communicate via TikTok. They use words and phrases, or the way they communicate is in little spurts of dialogue that is with not an actual prolonged conversation with an actual explanation for everything they're doing. Now, mind you, I think that sometimes they can go overboard with that in some movies. This one, it lacked any real semblance of a personality. It was just, I'm a drunk girl. That's it. Like, I'm sad. My planet died. I didn't know anyone there because it was clear that she never spent. She was an already antisocial looking person.
She only really ever talked to her parents. Yeah.
Yes. Like they didn't show her have friends. The kids were playing around her, not near her. Like it didn't look like they actually did anything. I think.
Did you notice this? Have you noticed this? Her parents were what everyone thought that Superman's parents are always supposed to be. I noticed that she won all of her fights. Her parents are supposed to be what Jor-El and I forget his actual mom's name sometimes. But
Laura
and Jor-El, her parents have the qualities and traits that his parents should have. He doesn't win any fights. She wins all of her fights. They gave Superman no wins at all, and they gave his parents, her parents' qualities. Like, what is this? That's crazy.
They want to try to. They call it. They want to do a bait. It's a real bait and switch. It's all it is. But they think it's being edgy or it's being a like they're subverting the audience. The problem is subversion does not work. No one likes that. No one likes subverting the audience anymore. It's not a thing. It's dead. In fact, I'm not even sure ever was something people liked. They should have learned from stuff like Star Wars. It was a big, very clear sign. No one likes you to subvert them, to subvert their expectations. It is something that people want to be far away from. People
You
want,
remember the Batman Arkham Origins game when they were promoting that, and they were promoting that Black Mask was going to be the biggest villain of the game, and then it turns out it was just Joker under a mask. Even people like that game. I remember the controversy surrounding that being like, yeah,
yeah,
Bane switching. If you're gonna do it, it has to be done exactly perfectly with what you're trying to tell as a story. Because if you do it for
yeah,
some cheap shock value, no one. It's not a thing that people like. It's just not. It's
yeah.
not a thing
I
that
mean,
people like.
it's kind of funny though because they kind of overcorrected a little bit when they made Arkham Knight. Arkham Knight, they did it where basically it was so predictable who the villain was, you could see it from a mile away, and it just kind of, it was one of those things where they overcorrected. And that one, most people still love the game, but also at the same time, people just kind of meh.
Yeah, yeah.
They were done. It was like
And
you
guys,
said
that was just in
before.
2013 when Arkham Origins came out in 2013. That wasn't. It's not that it's a fully hated concept. It just feels kind of cheap and lazy. Like people don't want to feel like whatever comes off as cheap and lazy. The reason why Saw's twist works is because you're so invested that you don't think another angle is coming from what is already set up in that room. Keep in mind, he's in the room the whole time. You just don't see it because you're too focused on the other elements going on. That's
Yeah,
why that concept can work. I'm not saying you can't even do a subversion in a way where it's a nice, well calculated twist, but that's what separates good movies from bad movies. There's not many great movies that can have twists like that can really
yeah,
pay off. Like if you count on your 10 fingers how many great twists you've ever seen in a movie, there'd be less than 9, I'd imagine.
yeah.
That's why I don't
It,
really think most movies can do them. They have to be done in a very specific way for them to really encapsulate what you're trying to tell as a story, you know?
yeah, exactly. It's kind of, I think at this point, if you can't do it, don't do it. Basically, it's
Yeah.
if you know that, like, there's some people who think like it's some grand twist, and then they write it and they put it on film because they don't think in those, they don't think in those ways. Their minds don't work that way. So when they see a twist in their own writing, it's like they like the smell of their own farts, and they think that that little fart of a twist is enough, like that's good enough, that it's interesting and appealing, and that in the grand scheme people will love it. People are just going to kind of, if it's good, people, but it's, if it's good and dull, like in a way that basically it's predictable but it's a good twist, people will just be like, okay, whatever. But whenever it's actually a good twist, like really impactful, it hasn't been that way. I think in like, it's like the 90s, there hasn't been a real good movie with a twist in the story. Like, I mean, an example would be that recent one, not too long ago. It was that Chris Evans horror, mystery horror type, murder mystery story. I think it was the Knives Out. Knives Out. That movie had a twist. I saw it coming only because everyone kept saying, but I was like, no, it can't be that predictable. The guy
I
that
liked
everyone
Knives
liked,
Out. I thought
yeah,
Knives Out, yeah.
yes, it's a good movie, but again, it was kind of, again, it was predictable. The twist ending was, now I was kind of hoping, I was hoping maybe he's not the bad guy. Maybe watch, he's gonna be the unsung hero of the story. No, he was just the, he was literally the bad guy. He was in fact the killer. He was in fact the guy who caused all the problems. It was everything that they wrote him to be. There was no twist, not really. They tried to make it look like a twist, but the problem is it was so predictable. Like, I wish that they had made it to where he was actually the misunderstood guy, and that maybe he was a love interest at the end of the story. That would have been kind of interesting. I think it would have been a more well-rounded story, and then show it somebody that actually looks like the most loyal, make it the most loyal person there as the bad guy. That would have been more entertaining. Or heck, make the detective the actual killer. That would have been more interesting. The guy who's trying to solve the murder is just leading people around everywhere and making them chase their tail, making him seem like the best detective, and watch him be the, if he had been the actual, if the detective was the killer, it would have been more interesting. Only because it's funny. It would add a little bit of humor, make it to where he's a like a begrudged old friend or something that killed the guy, or made it look like an accident. But no, everything was very predictable. I could see it, everything a mile away. But then again, my mind works that way. So
Yeah.
it,
And I'm not one of those guys to always truly defend Ryan Johnson, but I think he made it that way because of the backlash of Last Jedi, and he deserved it. Every bit of backlash Last Jedi, he absolutely deserves. He was getting diddied on all those criticisms, which I loved. It was just in Knives Out, I feel like that was the intention behind it, was to make it look as obvious as it could. That way it didn't come off as like some pretentious, like, oh, here's the actual killer. It's like, I think it's plausible to understand that that could be the case, but to be fair, what do I know? I'm just a genius, obviously, you know.
yeah,
But this is the thing. There's another thing with movies now. This one, the last one I cover, this one that I mentioned yesterday, is with streaming services. Is all the companies with all the streaming services have conditioned the audience to just wait for these movies, though. Like in 3 weeks to a month, you know that newest movie is going to be on a streaming service you're subscribed to. Doesn't matter which one you're subscribed to. People are subscribed to a lot of them. It's going to be on there eventually. Why
yeah,
would you go and watch it at the theaters then? Because that utterly makes things in a lot of bit of it makes, how to say this though, it puts things in a parody kind of sense where movies have to perform in this window. If they don't perform in that window, they don't get any sequels.
yeah,
Then it comes to a point where the studios themselves kill off the theaters because it now essentially means that they have to make movies that are must-see events to get the most money. But then that
yeah,
hurts the theater. All these things are from the studios themselves. And then a person goes, wait a minute, why would I go to the theater, pay all this money for concessions, gas, and everything, when the general consensus is most movies are not that good anymore? I could just wait and watch this movie from the comfort of my own home. I would, because I think it's really cringe for the studios every year to be going to CinemaCon saying they love the theater experience when they are the ones who are actively destroying it. They're the ones who literally fund the streaming services. They're the ones that are destroying the theater experience, not the actual customer. Like if the customer didn't have the streaming services available to them to go watch movies, people would go watch the movies, even if they're good or bad. The
yeah.
other option there would mean there's more money pumped into the actual movies that get released in the theaters. But that's what happened. Like Pixar movies had that with Bob Chapek. Remember,
Yeah,
Pixar
I
movies didn't make
remember.
a lot of money at all. But that's because they released Pixar movies on Disney Plus. So everyone thought, well, they're just going to be releasing Disney Plus now. So
Yep.
yeah, man, future is crazy. It's all over the place.
It is what it is. It's one of those things where I think that if you can find your entertainment where you like it, and as long as you enjoy it, doesn't matter. I think that, like, again, my personal reviews are just that. They're just my personal
Yeah.
preferences of what I enjoy. I don't tell anyone what they should enjoy. I think that's
Mhm.
crazy that somebody's like, I didn't like the Odyssey. I didn't like it. I thought it was contrived. A person did not actually read the books at all. I've read most interpretations of it. I even tried reading it in Greek. Now, I was not good at reading it. I might have a Greek name, but I'm not Greek.
I know, and you
And
know what's crazy? I took a bit of heat for saying I don't really care for that stuff, but that doesn't mean that I liked that you have these changes. Like, obviously, if anyone knows who I am, I don't like race swaps like that. I don't like when things are changed like that. I understand why people are
yeah,
mad that those changes happen. I'm just saying, for me personally, I've never cared for this Greek mythology Zeus thing at all. I've never cared. I
uh,
think it's boring,
for
actually.
me, for me, I like the Greek mythology stuff. To me, it tells a really great story, but only because it's a good mythology. Just like Lord of the Rings, I enjoy Lord of the Rings. My favorite
Yeah.
movie.
Oh,
I
obviously,
love.
I wouldn't like if they freaking obviously, I wouldn't like that they race swapped fucking Athena, or her name was, or Helen with that black chick. Obviously, I wouldn't like that. If anyone knows who I am, I would hate that. But
Personally,
it's
I wouldn't have cared as much. I actually got some heat just posting online that basically that Zendaya, she looked prettier in one of the promos that they did of her as a promo for
yeah.
of her own makeup or whatever. Now, mind you, I get it. She was a little caked on with the makeup, whatever. At least put on some makeup, and she could have been Helen of Troy. I think she would have looked pretty by comparison. It's like the other girl, she's pretty in a different kind of way, but not a grand beauty that people would fight over. Like no one would fight over me. No one would fight over anyone like her per se. Now, I'm not saying she's not capable of being beautiful. I've seen her in other movies, other projects where she also looks beautiful, but not the way she's Helen of Troy is described. Now, Zendaya, she has fair skin to some degree. She's still tan, but fair by a complexion. She has beautiful skin, but they made her intentionally look rough. I mean, just rough. And then, of course, it's because she's playing a she's playing Athena, and Athena in the story of the Greek Odyssey was she came as a like a servant, a peasant. She came as a regular person, and so back then they wouldn't have looked great. They would have looked kind of disheveled, little hard worked. So that's what they made her look like, and that's fine. But the problem is, I don't think she. I think they should have swapped the roles. Personally, I wouldn't have cared as much about the race swapping if they had swapped literally the actresses. Like make it to where the Lupita played Athena, and then have because Athena can look like whatever. She's not supposed to be the goddess of beauty. She's the goddess of just like a goddess. That's it. Now, mind you, she can look beautiful, and again, they should have made her look beautiful too because I've seen her look beautiful. They made her look off and kind of balding. They pulled her hair back so far that her forehead was bulging, and it just didn't look right. And so, with her in particular, Lupita could have played Athena, and then Zendaya could have played, you know, Helen of Troy. The fact that she had very little dialogue makes it perfect because
Hmm.
that's what she's good at. She's good at the kind of mundane conversations. And I would have enjoyed that more. I would have thought it was more interesting. But I recently watched an old miniseries of the Odyssey, and that itself is a miniseries, mini movie that came out on BBC a couple of years ago. It has Armando Sante playing the actor Armando Sante. He plays Odysseus. The acting and all of it was beautiful. It was perfect. Everything about it was spot
Hmm.
on. As close, I mean, there were obvious changes here and there, but not as much as this one. And the conviction behind Odysseus was that he was supposed to. He relished the war and the glory that he brought to Greece. He relished it. He was to his people a hero because he did what was good in his mind and to his people. And so it was one of those things where the story did not have that. Instead, he was sad about the war. He was sad about everything that happened, and he was depressed, fighting his depression, feeling ashamed. I've met soldiers. I've prayed over soldiers. I've been in ministry to help soldiers, and the reality is, veterans don't usually. Most of them don't all regret going to war. The ones who came out of it and have shaped up in life and done well for
Hmm.
themselves because of just circumstances were good for them. The the ones who actually saw battle, but they again made it home. They were victorious. They don't, although they question some things about the government, they do not feel ashamed for fighting for their country. They feel the weight of the glory. They feel empowered, and they feel as though they've done some great things. And
Hmm.
that's what Odysseus was supposed to feel. But then instead they wrote him a
Did you
shame.
mind the modern dialogue thing? I know that's a big thing when it
Oh,
comes to like those translations.
I hate it. That was the worst of it. It's the same reason why, for example, if you look at shows like what was that show called? The uh, Vox Machina, as an example. The animated series Vox Machina. I don't think you've heard of it. Fantasy, medieval fantasy, D&D campaign adapted into animation. Kind of Young Justice looking style animation. Cool, great characters, great design, far superior to most in existence. But modern dialogue, everything sounds like a gamer's chat room. It does not sound like a real fantasy setting, which is what you're supposed to go for in a D&D campaign. You play D&D now, mind you. I guess everyone likes to do their own version of D&D. I'm not going to
Yeah.
condemn them for it. They have a more, some people do more modern dialogue. I like having that mythical sounding voice, the brute who's here to fight for thy kingdom and honor thy brethren and all that stuff, and
Hello,
trying to
lassies. I would love to have a beer with you. That's how my character be. I need a beer
yes,
constantly.
it's one of those things like you gotta have some levity and ability, but you gotta also have the actual dialogue match the setting. It needs to fit so you can be immersed in it. I Immersion was broken as soon as the movie started with the Odyssey. And I'm not saying that it sucks. I'm just saying that it wasn't as good as it could have been. It was a good, again, much like the I'd say I compare it equal to Masters of the Universe. People will hate me for it. I don't care. I think it's equal to Masters of the Universe because it is a good movie, but not at the same time. It's equal in that setting where
I've seen a lot of people say
it's
they
imperfect.
enjoyed Masters of the Universe more than the Odyssey. You know what's crazy, guys? The fact that someone would tell you they enjoyed Masters of the Universe more than the Odyssey. That's crazy. That's absolutely mind blowing. When you think about it as a concept alone, Nolan to any other director would go, no, I'm probably gonna take Nolan all day. The last movie I watched from Nolan was Tenet, and there was some good moments in that movie, but it was just
Yeah,
overly long for no reason. And it's literally just a time traveling love story and a heist movie. That's all it
yeah.
is. I don't know why
It
he had
it,
to make it
it,
as convoluted as it was.
it was more. It was like a for me. It felt like a race swapped combined with a. It felt like a race swapped Lupin. It felt like a race swapped Lupin story. The anime. Lupin was a thief who is one of those things where the personality and story felt the same. And again, I did not enjoy it either. It felt boring. I don't like most of Nolan's movies. The only one I liked was
Mhm.
Batman Begins. That's it. I didn't like the Dark Knight movie. I thought it was okay, but it was just kind of meh. The only part that was good was Heath Ledger, and even then, yes, I know.
Avocados from Mexico.
God damn, you're doing God, you're so Mexican. God dang it. Where
Actually,
are tacos at?
I'm Spaniard actually, and Apache. So
Oh god. No, but that's the same thing that I had said. But even with the Dark Knight Rises, like I love Batman Begins and the Dark Knight. I love those movies a lot, but it's the Dark Knight Rises. I understand he wanted to use Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger passed away, but there was so many creative choices where I was like, wow, this is like you could have potentially capped this off as like one of the best superhero movie trilogies ever. But then the
yeah,
Dark Knight Rises comes and it's just I remember because back then you had to find these quotes by digging up interviews with these people. Do you remember
yeah,
when he said he couldn't make Bane look realistic? I'm like, Nolan, the whole universe can't be realistic because there's no one outside dressed like a bat
yeah.
beating people up and stopping crime. Not
He
a
couldn't.
thing.
He couldn't make Robin look realistic. I could see a million ways where they did it already with Batman and Robin, or Batman Forever, more specifically. Just take that part of Robin where he's like make him 18, 19 years old, make it a guy who is someone who knows Bruce Wayne on some level. They did it. They had it close, but the problem is they cast a guy who was 30 or 20 something, like 28 years old, to play Robin essentially, and then he didn't do anything. He literally did nothing. He ran around and cried a little bit, and then complained. That's the whole movie
But
was
it
him
does prove with the
complaining.
Odyssey that Nolan is just someone who's kind of immune to box office.
Yeah,
Outside of like a few movies that didn't perform as well as they thought, his career with box office has been pretty lucrative. Like it's crazy. This one's gonna do better than Oppenheimer, and that movie came out like 3 years ago at this point. So
yeah.
this guy is apparently is box office gold, but apparently from all the things I've heard, maybe his best days are behind him. Actually, well,
I don't think so. I think he does good movies. I think people are going to watch it because of his name alone. Now, mind you, I don't know how. It could be easily that he will make another movie pretty quickly, and this was just a cash grab for him.
mhm.
And he could have something really cool underneath under his sleeve, just hiding, waiting to release it. But who knows? It could really be he didn't expect people to hate it this much. Maybe he really expected it to just be a slam dunk where everyone would love it, and you basically no backlash whatsoever. But it's kind of like with Sony in particular. With Sony, they they didn't expect any backlash. It's like we're gonna do nothing but digital. It's like
Oh god, that's the
really,
worst one. Yeah. Yep. Sony's grand decision of where they're going to end printing physical discs for new games starting in 2028. You know, it's funny that they mentioned that and they're such disingenuous pieces of shit. They already don't do that enough for games made right now.
yep.
Yeah,
And
like,
it's funny. It's just because of the fact that they don't get money out of it. They don't get any, which is stupid because they would if they made good games, if they made
mhm.
good exclusives, if they made actual good exclusives. It's like yes,
Could you imagine Sony people going up to Disney when they release Brand New Day? Why my Spider-Man movie don't make no $1 billion? Where web crawler money? Where
I
my
think
money
it's.
at?
I honestly, I think the movie's gonna do too. That
It's gonna.
movie's gonna do too
No,
good.
could you imagine their conversation? Like, So Spider-Man, our character, we love our Spider-Man. Oh no,
Yeah.
oh yeah, we love Spider-Man around here. $1 billion character for me. You can tell Disney offered them money to take it. But people factor in, Disney probably has offered them money to take Spider-Man. Spider-Man is just more valuable to Sony to have as a property and an asset to use than it is for Disney to buy Spider-Man. Because without like Spider-Man is quite a huge property for them. People forget, like they made a great investment when taking that character away from Marvel when Marvel like went bankrupt many years ago. Like I imagine Disney probably offered like literally billions of dollars for the characters. Like they just said no. You just don't think Disney ever offered them to take it back? They have. They just said no. I wouldn't give it back to them either because it's Disney. Fuck them. Disney a piece of shit. They don't deserve it either. If Disney was making good stuff, I'd be like, okay, give it back to them. Disney is terrible right now currently. The current state of Disney makes Spider-Man back? Hell no. You don't deserve it. Burn in hell.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where now I'll say this one thing I'm looking forward to, the only aside from Spider-Man, because Spider-Man happens on the day it comes out the day after my birthday. So obviously I'm gonna watch it. But it's one of those things where the only other movie I'm looking forward to right now is The Legend of Zelda. That's the one I'm looking forward to. I'm an uber geek when it comes to that one. It was one of the first video games I played as a kid. Obviously, I'm not going to avoid it. It's one of those few movies that's actually a good movie or has potential to be a great movie. I hope it does. If it sucks, if it actually taints the legacy of it, it's terrible. But it's one of those things I can separate failure from success. They had good games. I like good games. They have good manga. I collect the manga. It's behind me. It's one of those things where I think that some of these movies, so the people think that because someone dislikes the movie or dislikes the comic or dislikes the cartoon, whatever, that somehow they're against other people liking it. Other people can like it as much as they want. I don't really care. Enjoy it. But they lash out like lunatics, as complete antisocial lunatics, if you besmirch the name of Nolan or any of these people that just, and any of them that make their baby, their favorite little thing, their favorite toy, their favorite movie, their favorite thing. It's like, I guarantee you they're not going to talk about this movie in a month. Mm-hmm. Give it a month, they're not going to talk about it at all.
Honestly, I think people also mentioned, I think some of the Daily Wire commentators like Matt Walsh and Michael Knowles and people like that, they had mentioned that this movie's not going to be talked about many years from now. Like, you remember when that Michelle Yeoh movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once, won like those Academy Awards? No one talks about Everything Everywhere All at Once. No one. It's just gone from people's brains now.
I haven't even watched it. I haven't watched it. I haven't liked most of her movies because she just comes off as a very cringy person. Only movie I've liked was Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. That's the only movie I liked.
I have no idea another Insidious is coming out. I'm surprised they still make these.
I haven't even watched it either.
I'm surprised they still made Insidious movies in general. I remember. Yeah, now I remember. So you bring it up because these things you have to be told that you remember, that not your brain just remembers them. That's supposed to be the last one. I'm pretty sure they're calling that one the last key. The key to what? Who knows? And it's always usually a woman. Women are always using the key to everything. This girl's the key to everything usually.
Wait, wasn't Insidious that movie with the guy who was demon possessed or something?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, I saw that movie. No, I saw it. It was a good movie. Honestly, actually, no. Surprised. I am surprised they're having a sequel. I almost equate it to a regular indie film. It might as well be, because it was produced clearly by more conservative people, and it's one of those movies where I saw it in passing because there was nothing else to watch. I saw it on YouTube for free. I did not. I forgot the title of it as soon as I watched it, but it was a good movie. It was a little.
Yeah, this is something that also I've been thinking about when I'm at work too. Like, even if you like some of the new modern movies that have come out, like there's one or two that you will actually enjoy. Yeah, there's nothing significant about them that makes them super memorable, though. I've noticed that when I've had these conversations with people, I would have to say the movie to them for them to actually go like, I remember it. But in your like classic movies back in the day, they're just really memorable, really quotable, really like long lasting movies in the last 5-6 years I've been watching these things. You watch them, experience them for a few weeks, you talk about them for a few weeks, and they're just gone.
Yep. I mean, there's only a few movies I can think of within the last year or two. There was the again Super Mario movie. I still watch it with my sister and my grandma. We watch it pretty
Did you
much
like the newest
every.
one that came out?
Yeah, she liked it too. We both
Okay.
liked it. I honestly thought for my problem with it, it should have been longer. I think with as much as they put into it, it needed a longer runtime, like 2 hours. It needed to be 2 hours long
Mhm.
because they put too much into it. It was so much so fast that it was like I want more. I wanted it to be more. It's like not in terms of stuff packed in,
Mhm.
but story and dialogue and intrigue. I wanted to see more of why Star Fox was out there by himself. Why was Princess Peach so interested in Mario's umbrella and all that, like little things that could have made the story. Or, I don't know, just something delve into more in-depth storytelling. I loved the story of her. I actually don't care people say. I enjoyed the part where she actually is related to Rosalina. I thought it was great. I thought Princess Peach being related to Rosalina was cool. The whole it kind of reminded me of Stardust.
Mhm.
Sisters, they're made of stardust. They're literally born of
Mhm.
stardust. It was the energy from the stars. They were created from that. So being born of stardust looked cool. It was honestly one of the best scenes in the movie. People say it has no plot. It had a plot. I think they were just looking for a different one.
Mhm.
So they say it didn't have a plot. It didn't have no plot. Like a bunch of retards. They didn't actually pay attention to what the story was, and it was about Mario first, finally being stepping into the role of a hero. He stumbles, of course, at times because he's still new to it. He hasn't even been there a year, and Princess Peach is clearly in love with him, but
Mhm.
struggles with expressing her emotions towards him. So she takes the opportunity to kind of go away for a little bit. And he flops hard when Bowser's son shows up and can't deal with this basically a quantum brush, a brush that can control matter and create things. Of course, he's confused. He doesn't know what's going on. He fails. So he looks for Princess Peach. Now, mind you, I don't know why he's looking for Princess Peach. What's she gonna do now that she's so he realizes too on the way there, well, I'm just gonna help her because that's what a hero will do. Protect, be there for the princess. He can't protect her because they don't want to show that in storytelling. I get it. It's their thing now. At this point, I don't even care as long as the hero actually does. And what does he do? He actually does something. He protects her by telling her, "You go save your sister. I'll stay and fight the bad guy on my own." And what happens? He wins. He wins the fight. And that people say it's woke. It's not woke. If the hero wins the fight and he's a dude, it is not woke. The princess can still do things. I think her saving her sister by showing that little thing they set up where they share a mutual power bond. I thought that was kind of cool. It reminds me of Powerpuff Girls. I watched that as a little 8-year-old kid. That was a fun cartoon. It's cute. It's fun. Kids will like it. And as an animator and as an artist, I thought it was interesting. And as a gamer, yeah, sure, it's not the same story. They wanted the story was not great in the games. No one played the games for the story back then. For Mario, it was all about the gameplay. You play it because it's fun.
Yeah, Mario's story
It's
was pretty linear in those games. It's like, yeah, it was pretty much a classic like save the princess from the bad guy. You were
yeah,
mostly enthralled with like the level design, how you hit pipes, how you go through pipes, how you attack those little, oh my god, those little Mexican looking walking things.
yes,
I forget what they're called sometimes. Bowser's little,
yes,
how you take out Bowser's minions, like that's what made Mario interesting. Like set design, how grander than life it felt that this Italian
yes.
plumber could go and be a part of this with the Mushroom Kingdom, everything like that. Mario's story was always memed on for having no story. It never really had one. Now,
Yeah.
for a movie, you have to do that differently because a movie needs a story to have a really core theme and concept.
And what's cool is, again, the creator of it, the creator of Mario, he expressed why he thought it was a good story. He said,
Mhm.
because it was something that he never really thought of, which is something a good artist does. They acknowledge when they didn't write the best story. And honestly, I thought they wrote a decent story. I
Mhm.
liked it. Stardust, it reminds me of Stardust. The whole thing reminded me of that. And what does the Star Princess do? She falls in love with the commoner.
Mhm.
It was like, and at the end, she gives him a little kiss. That was cute. It was
Yeah.
good. And
And
it was
and you know what's crazy, man? That's why I always tell people you should always watch movies or any form of entertainment and form an opinion based off your own viewing experience. Like too many
yeah,
people are just going with this mindset that they call people NPCs, even though they do NPC behavior themselves. And they're like, but this person that I like and respect said it was bad, so I just listened to them. Yeah, but if that
yeah.
person told you to jump off a bridge, you're gonna do that too? You like and respect them, jump off a bridge too. It's
I
like,
got I
what
got to
in the
switch.
world?
I got to switch too. Despite the fact that I said I wasn't going to get one, I got to switch too because the fact that I wanted to get one to play with my brother and sister.
Hmm.
We share it. We share the system. We
Hmm.
hang out together. Again, this is my house, but I inherited it. But they live with me. It's like, why waste money? Share. We all share it,
Hmm.
and we're all adults, and so we kind of just we hang out together. We play games, and we have our own built-in friends. We don't need to go find new ones. We get to hang out with each other. We play right now mostly Mario Kart World, and I don't have a lot of games on the Switch 2 for the Switch 2 because it's too much right now. It costs too much. But I'm getting a new one for my birthday. I'm debating either it's going to be an older game, not even a Switch 2 game. I might actually get an older one. I was thinking of getting Skyward Sword only because I haven't played it yet. Old game. I like Zelda stuff. It's fun. Now either that or I might just save the money and get more games. Like wait till I can get multiple and play all of them. But I think that the reality is you got to make the decisions for yourself. I made the decision because of one, I saw the price was going to go up. I was like, I'm not going to sit out and wait until the price goes up. I'm going to get the console now.
Hmm.
I got it for 440 and I got a game with it on sale for $20. Mario Kart World. I got it on sale. Don't ask me how I got it. I just did. It was
Or even with Super
awesome.
Mario Galaxy, because I never played Super Mario Galaxy or some of the other more popular Mario games. But I
Yeah.
remember they on the Switch too, they have a thing where you could buy the game where you could buy Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, or whatever the
Yeah.
Galaxy games are, together. Like there's a bundle
Yeah.
you can buy them both together. It's like,
You can actually that's compatible with the old Switch as well.
oh, okay. Yeah.
It's not they don't actually have a Switch 2 version yet. It's just the Switch version and it works on both, but on the Switch 2 it remasters it into a higher quality and less
Mm.
lag. Much less lag. It's great. A great experience. I think many people I think they are just looking for stuff to be butthurt about. I think that Nintendo may be one of the few vestiges left for the physical gamer,
Oh
the
yeah.
physical,
Mhm.
but even then, not entirely. Again, the sailing the high seas might be the best way to enjoy your games now.
Yeah. The game key
And
card thing, that's also another discussion for how people have been talking about physical media, but I will say Nintendo has been very good about preserving physical media. It's been keep in mind they've did some weird, odd things to move it into this digital realm too. But I'd
yeah,
rather have what they have than where the hell Sony wants to have a universe where it doesn't exist at all. I'd rather have
yeah.
something than just basically where like, oh, this is just the feature. And it's like no one better be complaining the new
I,
PS6 doesn't sell because
I
that's
got my
Sony's
si-
own fault.
I got my sister to play. My sister, I got her into playing the Wii so she could play the what's it called, the Twilight Princess game as it was
Mm,
intended. We play it on the Wii. I play it with her, or I play it by myself. I mean, but we will take turns playing the game, and it's one of our favorite games. Twilight Princess. Now she wants to read the manga, and I'm just like, I'm having fun just hanging out with my sister. It's like the best time in the world. And now she's going to be joining me in creating stuff with our little media company here. We're going to be creating art together. She's going to be creating her own style of animation and comics and stuff. And it's going to be a lot of fun, honestly. But it's one of those things I think that, again, you got to be able to make your opinions for yourself. You got to find the people that find your crowd that enjoys what you enjoy, but also be able to listen to other people's perspective without losing your shit every time someone, you know, has a different opinion, different idea of what's good. It's like it's one of those things where, yeah, I don't like the Barbie movie. And it's like I thought it was boring as all get out. I don't like the casting. I didn't think they looked good in my opinion. They look annoying to me. Like their faces annoy me. I don't know why. It's just their faces. Story was okay. It was bland. Other people loved it. Whatever. Doesn't matter. The people like movies. I don't like all the Avengers movies. I don't like all the Spider-Man movies. I liked Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man more than I liked The Amazing Spider-Man Part 2. I didn't like the second one. The first one was better. I like the unique take on the suit. Like everyone has their own their own particular interests and their own ideas of what it should look like. But the reality is, it's not. No one's the same, like one to one.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy, actually. 1 second, trying to.
Oh no, you're good. It's one of those things where you know people gotta understand if everyone's taste and how they perceive things were the same, then we live in a pretty boring world. There, just it's just so odd that people are just going off. It's like, well, this person said this movie was bad and I didn't, and they didn't like it, so that means automatically you wouldn't like it. It's like, well, even if you watched whatever and then you came to the same conclusion that they did, at least you would come to the same conclusion or a different conclusion based off your own viewing experience of it. Like I don't know. People just always are advocating to be LARPers and stuff. Like there's this big wave of people who just only want to be fans of something because of not like even watching or consuming anything about it. They just want to be a part of the conversation. So if that means never consuming anything based around what they're talking about, it's fine to them, just as long as they can just be a part of the conversation. But last few things I'll ask you, man, before we head out, which is first thing is, do you have anything planned coming up that you would like to let the audience know about?
Yeah, well, I have a comic book series coming out soon. It's called Xenos: Age of
Mhm.
Heroes. It is a Superman type comic book, or inspired by, of course. But yeah, you can find that. You can find more info about that on my Substack. It is substack.com/the Creatorverse, and you can also, of course, follow me on Twitter. And I also have I'm gonna be releasing an animated, fully 2D animated trailer / potential first 10 minutes of the comic book adapted into animation. So basically, you'll be able to almost kind of like watching an animated episode of the comic book, and that will be coming out potentially at the end of the year, but we'll see. It comes to the comic book that's going to be released digitally over on Substack, and also at the end of the year, I think, on Global Comics. I have signed up for Global Comics. You can find the Creatorverse over on Global Comics.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, keep a lookout for that. I do intend to, once I earn enough money, I intend to either do a campaign or find a way to release it physically, with my own money. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And of course, I have a mini comic book that you can read, that you'll be able to read soon, in about, I think, 3 weeks. You'll be able to read it on my coffee page, and it's called Red Wing Couriers. It is for those who pay, you'll be able to read it. It's $5 per month to be able to read it, but everyone who is subscribed for free on there will be able to get previews of the sketches of the comic book as it goes. I'll be releasing a sketch every day showing the progress of that comic book. Same thing for Xenos. I'll be releasing pages pretty much every other day of finished pages on X, as well as on Substack. Mm-hmm. Substack is where I'll do the full release of the animated 10-minute video. The 10-minute video of Xenos is going to be released only on Substack for those who subscribe for $5. Or no, I think I'm gonna lower it to $2.50. Yeah, $2.50 I think is a good price for me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Last thing is, do you have any shout outs you want to give to anyone in particular, and anything else you want to say before we head out?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to one of my favorite creators. It is C.S. Johnson. She's created some of my favorite books. Check out her Discord book. I think she's on issue number 4, coming out soon. And
I haven't talked to her in a while. She's been gone.
She's been busy. She has a life of her own, and she has a lot of things that she's going through. And I'm not going to share anything with her with that. But I think she's doing well, I believe. And so I actually have a commission that I'm sending over to her. I was supposed to send it 2 days ago, but my computer's been acting up again. So I'm trying to finish the drawing by hand finish. If I have to take a picture of it and send it that way, I will, but because it's in 4K. But I have a commission that I did for her, as well as another commission that she's going to be using, I believe, in issue number 5. So I can't divulge when that will be coming out, but I know that I'm excited to see it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, and of course, a shout out to my favorite comic book universe, Rippaverse.
Yeah.
My favorite universe right now. I know a lot of people don't like them. I'm not.
They got the
I
big was it Hatchet deal for the book distributor? They got
yeah,
that recently. That's pretty
I
big actually. Yeah.
I just ordered actually 2 comic books from them. I ordered Alpha Core #2 and number 3.
Yeah. That
And
would actually make getting books pretty much a lot cheaper if you can order them through Amazon or any
yeah.
of the other book distributors that company is involved with, you know?
Yep. Oh, and I think I have one last shout out. Shout
That's
out
fine.
to Von Coleman, one of my favorite guys. He's one of
That
the best creators
overrated
out
hack.
there.
Oh my god.
No, he's created one of my favorite universes for a teenage, coming of age story, Phenomenova, and then the new one, Wraith Crown, coming out soon. Now, I have no connections to any of that. I wish I did. I just didn't have time to draw any fan art to finish it yet. I have actually one that I did recently. I'm almost done with. When you have so many things to work on and there's so much to put out there,
Mhm.
I do intend to release some fan art that I did for him. Maybe he'll use it for something. I don't know. It's one of those things. That's actually how I got my first start in art, was doing fan art for C.S. Johnson. So it's we'll see how it goes.
Hell yeah, man. It was great talking to you again. Great seeing you. Hopefully things with YouTube pick up very soon. As long as you stream consistently, you'll do pretty good. I mean, Lunchbox Warren, who used to be on the show a lot, he just streams consistently, just doing his draw streams, and it's come out pretty well for him, getting some viewership there. As long as you're super consistent with it, doing it at least once, or at least I bet like good nice numbers, like a good two times a week is fine, you know?
Yeah.
Nice long meaty episodes, just like my wife loves. She loves them nice and long. So thank you guys for coming by and checking out this episode of the MSK Show. And I think I'm gonna go and have sex with Sydney Sweeney. I think that's my next goal. I'm joking, guys. These are all jokes. But no, thank you guys for checking out this episode of the MSK Show. And I should be having more stuff come out in the future. Always got some podcasts and game streams in the works that are always going to be out. I'm pretty much here 6 days a week, 24/7, after work, all the time, and the next day, and the next day. But no, I will say
till you're 90.
That's true. Yes, till you're 90. Also, guys, any form of entertainment, comic books, manga, movies, TV, video game, anime, if you want to be part of the conversation more, consume it yourself. And even if you do end up agreeing with someone on something, at least you would come to that conclusion on your own based off your own viewing experience. Don't be an NPC. So we'll see you guys